So yeah, I'll come in tomorrow with an Ipsy set and just leave them with it. Do you have production copies here? You'll give them I'll give them with the ones that we use. Because A, we don't need them. I would like one as well. I mean, sure. For spring break. Yeah. But I'm excited to see what they come up with in Lightroom Plus when that account is.
Does the rest of the team, did you tell Jason too about this?
What?
Other minus one counters?
In what?
How?
Oh, I don't know. No, what I mean is the sets that we have like old glacial items, and Lightroom Plus when that account and stuff like that.
But they're going to be minus one plus one minute calculate, right?
Yeah, and we find balance.
Yeah.
The problem wasn't minus one plus
We
one.
know. Yeah.
It was the way they distributed it. And I'm excited for every set to have, or every deck to have minus one plus one interaction. That's important. I'm just really worried because they said that it's going to be equally difficult for each color class to
Well, there's a time clock
to do all the different types of control. Which I don't think Aaron and Aislinn, well, I don't think Aaron and Aislinn understand why it's important that it's a lot easier to disarm than it is to slow than it is to silence. That's the order it is. That's the order it is currently. And I'm pretty sure that's really important to me because silence is how you get out of slow, and slow effects are how you get out of disarm.
And silence.
And silence, but mostly. comes up a lot. But the thing is, right now it's not possible to -1/+1 silence in the same deck where it's possible to -1/+1 disarm or slow. And having it's not an instant speed. I'm saying an instant speed. The thing is, since Alright.
You are not on the. I don't think you are on the list. Are you playing incident? Oh, draft. Okay, so not this event. Okay. Oh. They're doing commentary again? Yes, yes they are. Alright. Pairings are up. Who do you guys want?
Let's just take number 1.
You might want to ask Spencer. Spencer's never played Magic before, so you might want to ask him if he wants
He's
to
played before.
He has played before. Okay. Does he want to play under the camera against us?
It's fine. He doesn't want to.
What's up?
If you want, it's fine if you don't.
Goblin is in the round shirt, not right? You said it doesn't matter. So we'll put him on camera?
Who is?
I just said the first person, and it's Sauce versus person who has never played a tournament before, so they might not actually be putting a modern deck.
Oh, the Elves guy. Okay.
Spencer?
I don't know. There's a guy who brought a pile of Elves cards and asked which ones of these are modern legal.
Oh, should we not do him then?
No.
Well, go see. Yeah, you go deal with it. Good job, Adam.
Go back here.
Are you, Spencer? Yeah. Good luck.
Good. Okay. I mean, it still might not get real. Are we on? Yeah, we are ready. It still might not get real.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't care. It's modern fun.
Let's do this.
Sweet.
Hey people, how's it going? Welcome to Paradise Games Modern Night. My name's Adam.
And I'm Noble, and we'll be your casters for today.
Yep, bring you, 4 rounds of Modern action?
Yeah, should be good.
So we're just going to be jumping right in here. It looks like the first round is just starting right now, and we have our players shuffling up.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got, 8-Whack versus Grixis Control?
Grixis
Oh.
Energy.
Grixis Energy?
Sweet.
I'm pretty sure that's no. He's playing Jund.
He's playing Jund? Okay.
That was an old tag. That would be a bold choice in this modern format.
Hey, I've seen it. It's kind of sweet.
You can marvel into you can marvel into basically anything, but you can marvel into Jason the Mind Sculptor.
Yeah.
You can put Olamogs back onto your top of your deck and then marvel into them.
Okay, that's pretty sweet.
Okay.
I kind of want to be doing that.
Yeah, you know. No, but it looks like 8-whack versus Jund. 8-whack, for those not familiar, is the kind of like slang term for the deck that plays 8 of the whack effects: Goblin Bushwhacker and Reckless Bushwhacker. They're both a little different, but what happens at the end of the day is you pay 2 mana for a 2/1 haste that gives all your other creatures +1/+0 and haste. They both achieve it slightly differently. Goblin Bushwhacker's a 1/1 for 1 that has a kicker of 1 when you pay it. Your creatures get
Red.
+1, or for red, yeah, and your creatures get a +1/+0 and haste.
right?
And then Reckless Bushwhacker is a 3-drop 2/1 haste with Surge that lets you cast it for a generic and a red. And when you cast it for a Surge cost, your creatures get other creatures get +0/+1.
+1/+0 in haste.
Yes.
Yeah, and so the whole idea is when you've got a whole bunch of creature tokens on turn 2 and 3, you can theoretically just kill them out of basically nowhere when you finally play your kicker guys. Yeah, so what do you think? 8-whack versus Jund. Who do you like?
I don't know, Jund. I feel like Jund is going to have the advantage here if they can get the game to go long. So if they can line up some hand disruption, be able to disrupt some of the more aggressive 8-whack elements. Something 8-whack will do is like play a bunch of Burning Tree Emissaries and free creatures, and then play that. Then play like a Bushwhacker. So if he can Thought Seize away some of the like Bushwhackers and stuff, some of the payoff cards, and be able to stabilize behind a Tarmogoyf.
Yeah. Yeah, it turns out a 4/5 Tarmogoyf is pretty good at dealing with 1/1s.
Yeah, exactly. Jund does hit itself for a lot of damage, so we're not sure.
Yeah.
So Jund is on the play, which is a good start for this matchup. They want to be able to disrupt from turn 1 onward.
Yeah, it's very important for the Jund player to not fall behind.
Yeah.
Because, falling behind the deck full of, things that will kill you on turn 3 is really not where you want to be.
Yeah, exactly. And additionally, interestingly enough, Bloodbraid Elf, the new addition to Jund that has kind of propelled it to the top of the format, is not at its best in this matchup. Kind of 3/2, 4 mana creatures are not really where you want to be against a board of tokens that end up as 2/1s.
And you're not really swinging that often. The goal for Jund here is to stabilize, and then have that stabilization keep you alive. So you don't need to get in with your aggressive 3/2s. So it looks like our players are starting out. Interesting. So, let's see, what do we got? I see a couple Mog Fanatics.
It is potential that he's actually on Hollow? I think he's actually on Mardu Pyromancer.
Or Black. We will see based on the cards they play. So we have Sacred Foundry into what's it called?
He's okay. Look,
Faithless
his hand
Looting.
is a bunch of red, green, black, green fetches, a Lingering Souls, and another Faithless Looting. So who the hell knows?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Mardu Pyromancer.
Okay, great. So not
Okay.
Jund.
Yeah, I knew Sal's plays Pyromancer. What was I thinking?
I like Mardu Pyromancer against the mono red deck more than I like the more than I like Jund.
We were just talking about how key disruption is and blockers are, and playing a Young Pyromancer and having 3 tokens off it, Lingering Souls, are all excellent against the deck that's trying to play against 1/1s. However, Legion Loyalist, it's pretty good against Mardu Pyromancer.
That's exactly what they need.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that card's battalion ability gives its all its 1/1 first strike trample, and they can't be blocked by tokens. Which kind of negates Saw's entire deck.
For the most part. I mean, you can still block with your...
Bedlam Revelers and your Young Pyromancers,
Yeah,
the
that's
8
not great.
creatures you actually play.
That's really not great. But, so in Spencer's hand, I'm pretty sure I saw 2 Mog Fanatics.
Yeah.
Which is going to...
He might be on he's probably still playing the Bushwhacker effects, but he might be on a straight Goblin aggro effect.
Yeah.
Hey, Titan Strength is a Lightning Bolt with Scry 1 if your opponent
It
has a
is.
blocker creature.
That's great. So Titan Strength +3/+1 and Scry 1 is actually a really interesting factor. It's interesting that he didn't play one of his Mog Fanatics.
Yeah.
To put him in... it might be that he's holding up
A Titan
a
Strength
Titan Strength
to protect it?
Guess we'll find out.
We'll see.
Either way, I really like Mog Fanatic in this matchup because it kills Young Pyromancer. You don't need much more than that. Killing Young Pyromancer is going to do so much for your deck.
Yeah.
I guess, Legion Loyalist makes it so you don't need to care, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, the other thing about the Mardu Pyromancer deck is that it's...
It looks like one of Saw's friends took his spirit tokens, so he's figuring out where he can get those. But it looks like he grabbed a couple, so that's good.
He has the fancy foil ones that flip into full art ones, but looks like he already stole those. So thanks a lot.
What is
Goblin Chieftain?
Oh, that's a chieftain. Yeah,
the
it
Lord
is.
that gives haste.
Yeah. Oh no, that card's great.
Yeah. I actually looked at it and thought it was a Dragon Fodder, and I was like, why on earth did you play that last turn? But actually, it's a Goblin Chieftain. And Spencer looks like he's indeed making the right play. So he's going to choose to trade off his Lingering Souls for that Goblin Chieftain and take 2 in the process, getting him down to 11.
Interesting. I wouldn't have swung there with the Chieftain.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, yeah, because Sawz is going to be able to just play another Lingering Souls. He'll be able to get it out of his yard, and then you got half a card worth of value. And yeah, if he had gone turn 2, Titan Strength, second main phase, Mod Fanatic, he would have then been able to go turn 3, Goblin Chieftain, swing with all 3, Battalion Trigger, you can't block my creature.
That seems like it would have been
with your creature tokens.
It's been excellent. It's potential that he wanted to play around some type of removal.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I would have run out the Fanatic there.
Either way, I think if I'm Spencer here, I don't even swing with either of my guys, and the next turn play Mod Fanatic. It has haste, swing with all 3. Now you can't block.
So Saw's turn was just flashback of souls, play a fetch land, pass.
Seems good.
That's exactly what he wants to be doing in this matchup, putting a bunch of 1/1s on the board.
Yeah, as much as humanly possible.
Yeah. So you got those Fanatics.
What's that top card? Oh, that's Bushwhacker. Yeah.
So I mean, Mod Fanatic plus Bushwhacker here is pretty good.
Yeah.
Then you get to attack for 6, and your dudes can't be blocked by tokens. But he
it looks like he's just passing back.
Might have just passed the turn back.
Okay. I'm not sure exactly what he's planning on doing here. It might be that he's planning on having one turn where he just plays all his guys.
Yeah, so he might be waiting so that he can unload it all at once.
Let's see. So if we count it up, we've got Bushwhacker gives +1/+0 and haste, right?
Yeah.
So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana, you're able to go Mog Fanatic, Bushwhacker kicked. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 damage right there.
And then the final 10.
Yeah,
because with the 2 Fanatics.
So did he just have lethal there?
No, he only had 3 mana. I think he played his last land that he drew, and now he has lethal if he goes for it.
Well, he had it literally right there. He played the land, and then play your 2 Mog Fanatics and kick your Bushwhacker, swing, sack, you got it.
Well, okay, this Mardu Pyromancer deck is playing Bloodbraid Elf.
That's awesome. Oh, man.
Hitting into a Kolaghan stand, and this is gonna be a blowout for size. Missing lethal there kind of hurts.
Definitely does.
Yeah.
So, Bloodbraid Kolaghan's Command. I'm guessing 2 damage to the Legion Loyalist. You discard a card.
Yeah.
Looks like.
And then he's probably gonna start getting in there with those 3/2s and those 1/1s.
Yeah, and honestly at this point I would say that Sawz has taken back control of the game and is going to be able to exactly
but
go.
This is exactly the opening that Spencer's play is actually pretty good against, because now his opponent didn't leave any blockers.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna be able to hit him to 4 with 2 Mog Fanatics.
Not if he draws his 5th land, he's not.
Sure, it's not the best, but
yeah.
So Fanatic.
Okay.
Yeah, Fanatic. It should be another Fanatic. And Bushwhacker. Sawz is probably thinking, what? He's like, you had this blitz attack, and you didn't.
Okay, and he's kicking it.
Yeah,
Okay, great. Yeah, so we've got the kick effect there. Bushwhacker hits itself as well,
yes.
Right? Cool. Creature you control +1/+. Interesting that he's not swinging with the Bushwhacker.
Maybe he doesn't know that it hits himself.
Maybe not. Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't know that it hits itself, which is unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate.
But it would be nice to. It blocks the Bloodbraid Elf, which is 3 damage for 2. But when my opponent's at 10, I'm just trying to kill them.
Yeah.
In my mono red deck.
Turns out.
Yeah.
So we will see where this goes. It's interesting. It looks like Spencer had a chance to get lethal, missed it, and that's fine because it looks like he's getting multiple other opportunities. At this point, if he draws Lightning Bolt, he's then 1 damage off of lethal, which is that's kind of where he wants to be.
Yeah, definitely. That's this game will very often be Saws stabilizing with tokens at a very low life total.
Yeah.
And reach like the Mog Fanatics or Lightning Bolts or perhaps Goblin Grade. I don't actually know his list.
Yeah, that sounds
is enough to get there.
That sounds like the kind of thing you'd play. Was that a Simian Spirit Guide?
So we just got a little bit of intel from our store owner. Spencer Dodge did buy himself some Goblin Grenades before the event started.
So I'm guessing they're going to be in the deck.
Hopefully.
Looks like, what is that? Upkeep Colligan's Command?
Yeah, to make him discard.
Yep. Upkeep Colligan's, or draw step Colligan's Command.
Yeah, what is it? Discard? Because he sacked this. Looks like he sacked a Mog Fanatic. He shot the Mog Fanatic with the Colgan's Command. And
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he sacked in response to deal damage, which is a little thing. It's easy to miss.
Yeah.
In fact, if I was Saws, I would have shot the...
I think he discarded a Simian Spirit Guide. I just got a flash of it, but it looked like that's what he showed us. So that's fine. If you're discarding Simian Spirit Guide, I mean at this point it's basically just a 2/2.
Yeah.
Draw step. Is that Titan Strength?
No.
No?
I think these are Brute Strengths. Yeah, what he drew
Or
is
Mountain.
Mountain, but I don't think that was
Yeah.
Simian Spirit Guide. I think it was that
Sure.
Giant Growth from the same set that has that same border.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's Planar Chaos. Color shifted versions of other cards. We should go back to Planar Chaos. Oh wait, we are Dominaria. I'm excited. Yeah, so it looks like it was Brute Strength.
Brute
+3/+1 trample. Okay. Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Then great. Yes.
No.
Brute Force. Okay. Yeah. No.
Brute
you-
Force. That
you
was
were
my
right.
bad. Yeah. Brute Strength. There we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
Brute
That's what
Force.
Brute Force is.
With that border.
yeah, exactly.
The modern the Planar Chaos border. Okay, cool. So Spencer's deck has a couple different ways to play. You got your Mog Fanatics, your Goblin Chieftains, your Bushwhackers, and then it looks like he just has a bunch of +3/+X pump spells in his deck.
Yeah.
Which is
Saws just Flashback did something that is pretty good for him at this stage in the game. Flashback, basically discard 2 very, very dead Thoughtseize.
yes, you're
Which
not
is
you're not
kind
playing
of
those
how
cards.
it's gonna be, yeah.
I mean, look at this. Spencer's able to play another kicked Goblin Bushwhacker, triggers on all his guys, swing for 4,
Yeah.
put Saws at 2.
Yep.
That's
See, you remember this time, Saws it 2, but it looks like a Fatal Push is gonna effectively gain Saws a couple life there and
Yep.
keep him
Saws
on a
to
range of
4.
a bolt.
still dead to Goblin Grenade.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. Looks like Saw's deck name has changed now to 4-color Jund, which, yeah, looks like Mardu Pyromancer.
Hazaret. Yeah, it's basically Mardu Pyromancer with green for Blood Red Elf.
Hazarets.
He may be playing, yeah, it is. He may be playing the Tarmogoyf, not actually sure at this point, but I doubt it.
I could see that. Yeah, because you're
Yeah.
making them discard and you have a bunch of...
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems good. So it looks like Saw's is going to take it with his Hazaret play there for 5, 6, 8, 9, what is that, 10? So
10 damage,
actually
yeah.
just lethal.
Go.
Sure. And Spencer's going to be... We're going to be going back and looking at their sideboarding and into game 2. So, on Spencer's side, we have 4 Dragon Claws, 4 Smash to Smithereens, 1 Madcap Skills, 1 Hordling Outburst, 1 Skeleton Key, 1 Dual Shot, Blinding Flare, and Tormod's Crypt.
So
What do you think of these?
What is Skeleton?
Skeleton Key. Oh no, I was thinking of the one from. That's the one the artifact from Kaladesh that makes things unblockable.
No,
that's Key to the City.
That's
yeah.
Key to the City.
Um,
Skeleton Key.
Skeleton Key is from. There it is, from Shadows over Innistrad. Equipment for 1, equip 2. Equipped creature has Skulk, and whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card.
Interesting. So, way to kind of filter through some of those lands. If you would have drawn a couple more goblins and a couple less lands in that last game, you might have actually gotten there. His opponent did end at 4 life.
Now, Skulk is, it can't be blocked by creatures larger than it, and seeing as Saws is making a bunch of 1/1s, I don't think that
Probably
Spencer's going to
not
be
the
putting in
best,
his Skeleton
yeah.
Keys.
Blinding Flare, though.
Blinding Flare. Which one's Blinding Flare?
I believe it's the one that prevents creatures without flying from blocking, but I might be just crazy.
Blinding Flare, red. Any number of target creatures can't block this turn, strive red.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you can. It's basically a.
Red, 4 creatures can't block.
Yeah, exactly. So
Interesting.
it's a spell that scales, removing blockers. That's probably usually better against decks with more low to the ground blockers. I like Hordling Outburst here. I like Madcap Skills
I
here.
really like Madcap
And I
skills.
potentially like Dragonclaw here, though it's not my favorite.
Dual shot's fine too.
Yeah.
Dual shot deal 1 damage to each of 2 target creatures.
That's
players.
true.
So it can hit players, right? Yeah.
No, it cannot.
It cannot?
No,
Okay,
it
so
cannot.
it'll just clear away 2 1/1s and then he'll be able to swing with his goblins again.
Yeah. Engineered Explosives on Saz's side seems excellent against all these 1 and 0 drop goblins.
Yes, it does. E
Uh,
on 1 or E on
Collective
0.
Brutality seems great to pick those lightning bolts,
Yep.
Brute Strengths, Titan Strengths, Goblin Grenades out of Spencer Dodge's hand and kill his creatures on board and potentially gain him a little life.
Yeah, no, the drain is good there.
Yeah, Collective Brutality kind of just lets you turn 2 other cards into cards that are actually useful in the matchup.
Yep, doesn't look like he's bringing in Spellbomb, Ancient Grudge, or Fulminator Mage, or Liliana the Veil.
He's probably actually taking out all of the Liliana the Veils. in
Yeah,
his deck that
exactly.
He has.
For 1 Anger of the Gods.
Yep.
Seems perfect here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spencer's going to be just dropping a whole bunch of little guys into play. Anger of the Gods will clean them up, and then Saz will be able to come back with his tokens and
Souls out of the
Blood Raid Elves.
graveyard, Cassian stuff. Yeah.
Seems good.
Indeed.
Alright, so yeah, we're expecting to see... What do you take out of Spencer's deck? Probably some number of the instants that give +3/+X.
Yeah, that's what I would think to cut.
Yeah.
In the face of all Saz's pushes and potentially bolts.
Makes sense to me.
Deck should be playing some of our bolt now, I think.
What, Saz?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see any.
But I haven't been pretty familiar with the Pyromancer decks after rotation, and these Blood Red Elves certainly seem like a little bit of spice.
Seems like a good place to be. I've noticed a lot of decks that are just splashing in Bloodbraid Elf and Jace now, and I don't know if it's necessarily better, but it's definitely sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in on that. So our players are going to be shuffling up for Game 2, and I just want to let everyone know that we are here in Bellingham at Paradise Games, and they're actually going to be running an interesting event tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. They'll be opening their doors to draft Masters 25. They're going to be firing draft queues all day whenever they can get 8 players together to draft. So that should be really nice. I know I'm going to be here probably at 10 a.m. waiting for 8 people so I can try opening some, Jason Mind Sculptors and Azuzas and stuff.
Rashad and Ports,
Masters
all that good stuff.
That Rashad and Port art, I think
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, that and foils is going to be.
Oh yeah,
So
so get some good foils. Come on down, play some drafts. It is a master set, so drafts will be $30. I'm pretty sure he said normal prize payout. So that is gonna be firing all day.
And yeah, come on by, try it out. The set looks really interesting because it looks like instead of like some of the other Modern Masters and such sets, instead of having, the blue-white deck is Affinity, the green-red deck is Ramp, the blue-red deck is in Elementals, etc. It looks like there's a lot of distinct pieces that you can draft around and build your little engine. So that should be really cool to draft.
Okay, so our players are shuffling up, drawing their hands. Saw's mulled to 6, and is scrying 1 now. It looks like he saw Faithless Looting on top of his deck. When you mull to 6, that's not really the card you want to see. It does put you down a card.
I mean, but he did have a Lingering Souls in hand. So
That's
you go
fair.
turn with Faithless Looting, that lets you get a couple 1/1s on turn 2, which is probably decent.
Regardless, he put it on the bottom. Not
Yeah.
exactly what he's looking for.
We'll see. We're doing something interesting with shuffling and getting right on to turn 1. So Spencer goes for a mountain.
And goes for another Legion
Let's go.
Loyalist.
Raging Goblin with upside. Get in there for that point.
Yeah, no, that card's great. I think it's the most important card in Spencer's deck for this matchup, I would say.
I would agree. It gets in damage early, makes it so all those tokens just don't matter.
And makes it so all of his other blockers
Yeah.
don't matter. Like,
Looks
you're
like-
not blocking a 2/1
Sure,
first
we're
strike
gonna
with
get
Blood Red
double
Elf.
Legion Loyalist here,
Oh, yeah.
or he's gonna not cast the second Legion Loyalist. Perhaps turn on Surge in the future.
That would make sense,
Because he it looks like he's going to want to play the Bushwhacker this turn and then
There we
attack,
go.
and that would mean that he can't play. That would prevent him usually from playing the Bushwhacker.
Oh, this hand looks great. So his hand is Goblin Bushwhacker, Relentless Bushwhacker,
Reckless.
Reckless, sorry. Goblin Grenade, and Legion Loyalist. So he'll be able to sort these cards however he wants. I'm guessing we're going to see, Legion Loyalist, and
They're
he's
just gonna
not
come in-
playing a Bushwhacker. Okay.
He seems in this matchup, it looks like his plan is kind of just save the Bushwhackers.
For actual lethal.
Yeah, to like save up a little bit, not overextend into maybe a sweeper, and then on the last turn of the game be able to go like Bushwhacker, kill you, and hold off as long as possible.
Not sure how much I like that.
Yeah, me
Because you
either.
have a Goblin Grenade in hand. That's your reach.
Yeah.
And if he had played a Bushwhacker here, he gets in
Yeah.
another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of damage, putting Saz at 6, which means, yeah. Either way, point being, Saz is going to get a fetch land.
He hasn't done anything
It looks like Saz is pulling up, or he's saying that his deck list is specifically not Decandio's list.
So actually, it looks like Spencer's choice was not bad here, as those creatures run into Anger of the Gods. I don't know though. I wouldn't have been. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't have been opposed to running out that last turn and getting in an extra. It has haste. Okay. Getting in an extra. What would it be? 5 points, putting my opponent to 6 with 2 Goblin Grenades in hand.
Yeah, it looks like Spencer played his Bushwhacker, passed a turn, and immediately started shaking his head after realizing that it had haste.
Yeah, so Saz is going to do a Brutality, escalated twice, pitching 2 Lingering Souls, it looks like, which is just brutal. He's going to be able to strip that Goblin Grenade and go up to 13, where he'll be facing that double Goblin Grenade twice over.
And 2 Goblin Grenades is how he wins this game. Yeah. So, yeah, at this point, I think Spencer's missed out on just enough damage that it's going to be really hard for him to come back and win. Especially when next turn Saz will be able to play 2 Lingering Souls out of the yard. Draw. Another Goblin Grenade. Turns out, Goblin Grenade, the 3rd and 4th are not exactly the best when you don't have a bunch of goblins.
Yeah, oh boy would they be finishing this game if he did though. He's saving that Bushwhacker to potentially give a top deck creature haste. I like getting in for 2 there.
I guess. But
yeah, it gives his opponent targets for collective brutalities and pushes, and
he's already shown that his game plan is going to be conservative and keeping your Bushwhackers in hand to kill them at the when they finally have low enough life that it'll actually kill them. So if that's the plan, he's sticking by it.
So Saz is playing a Bedlam Reveler, trigger on the stack, discards his hand, draws 3 cards. Looks like he drew Pyromancer, and potentially another Bedlam Reveler.
Well, that's a lot of creature tokens.
Yep.
Yeah. Saz will have a lot of blockers. And it looks like Spencer's tapping 1 mana for a Bushwhacker and passing the turn, maybe? We'll find out in a sec whether or not he's passing the turn. What's that in his hand?
Forked Bolt.
Okay.
So it's...
Yeah, it's Forked Bolt. Looked like one of the goblins from Battle for Zendikar, I was thinking. But no, it's Forked Bolt.
Yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
Unfortunately, it's looking like he's 1 point of damage short of double Goblin Grenade Forked Bolt, assuming he had another Goblin, of course.
Yes.
So he needs to get in for 1 more creature damage with a creature.
I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yep, which is pretty unfortunate.
Yeah. So this Lingering Souls here will create 2 1/1 flyers as well as a 1/1 elemental without flying. And I'm guessing the Saz is just going to crash for 4 with that Prowess Bedlam Reveler. And not much else. Not that you can't do much else. But I feel like Saz is going to be able to just swing with the Bedlam Reveler, keep back an army of blockers, and have that be the rest of the game.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty sure if I was in Spencer's seat there, I would have kept that Bushwhacker around. I think my out is being able to cast Goblin Grenades to my opponent's face, and the way to do that is to keep a Goblin around.
Yeah. There are also, theoretically, presumably, there's Lightning Bolts in Spencer's deck. So, the Goblin, if you're just chump blocking with your Goblins, then you're not going to be able to play Goblin Grenades, which means that the Lightning Bolts won't be lethal. And I don't think that's the winning line. But we'll find out soon enough whether or not Spencer can pull this one back from Saz.
Yeah, a Forked Bolt, which looked like its main deck, because we didn't see it in his sideboard.
Yep.
I was going to take out that Pyromancer and one of those Spirit tokens.
That's a pretty good use for a Forked Bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than 2 points to the face, that's pretty much as good as it gets. Saz does have some very pretty basic lands, or at least the that forest.
I don't know. They're Mitchmast, just not my favorite. There's the.
Is that
I believe that's the.
PC? Yeah.
Yeah, he has the Rebecca Gwylands for the newest Commander set, and it also looks like he has a smattering of other maybe Apocalypse lands. I'm not actually sure.
We'll figure that out in just a moment. The point is, when you're only playing one or two, when you're only playing one or two basic lands of each type, a lot of people bling them out pretty well. So he's got those APAC lands.
So here's something we didn't see in the first game: Goblin Pilerunner. That card can put on the damage, but it looks like in this case, while that would have been great on turn 2, it's not doing too much for Spencer here, facing off against a veritable army of tokens, a young Pyromancer, and a Bedlam Reveler. Which it's looking like this game is tied up in.
Yeah, it's getting close.
I mean, it's getting close to Saz being able to just actually not be able to lose this game. Oh, there's a Hazoret.
Yeah, there's a Hazoret. That looks like it's just going to be lethal. And he...
Probably lethal?
Yeah,
it
count
is.
that up.
Counting is...
Yeah, that's 13. His opponent's at 12. Unless there's some trickery in the middle here, it looks like that's going to be the game. And that's the match. And as we saw there, what kind of happened was Saz traded off some removal spells, blocked some creatures, and then just put a bunch of tokens onto the battlefield, stabilized, got to a point where Spencer couldn't attack him anymore, and he was out of the reach of those burn spells,
Yeah.
and then played a big finisher and just started getting into the red zone. Hazoret topping off both games, but I'm not sure how necessary it was in either of them.
I think Bedlam Reveler in that second game was really the thing that ended up making it so Spencer really couldn't win.
Yeah, he
because-
played the 3/4 that blocks all of those creatures
And then-
profitably, doesn't trade with them.
and then eventually goes on to win
Yeah,
the game.
exactly.
Yeah. So that'll do it for our first match with our 4-color Pyromancer versus Spencer's 8-whack Goblin deck. And I think we're going to try to get either another match here, see if I can find any. And while I'm looking for a new match to put on the feature match, let's see if we can get Saz in here to talk about his deck, because as he mentioned, it's specifically not who is that?
Brendan DeCandio.
Brendan DeCandio
He's
is
a big player on the SCG tour.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get Saz in here next, talk a little bit about the match and sideboarding, and then if you want to go check out, see if we can find some other people.
Yeah, we'll
We'll be right back with you.
yeah. You need coffee.
No, we're not. Okay.
What's up, guys?
What up? So looks like. Sorry about that. Can you get started again right now? We're not actually. Are we being heard right now?
No,
Okay.
that little thing will be.
We're muted right now, but I don't need to say that. Now it's great. We got all ready in here.
Yep.
All right. Hey everybody! Once again, tuning in from Paradise Games, the Thursday night Modern. We just finished up round 1. We got to see 8-whack versus 4-color Pyromancer, and we got the pilot of 4-color Pyromancer in here. Saz, tell us about his kind of unique take on the deck. I was surprised by that Bloodbraid Elf in game 1, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so I like playing Jund, and I
Yeah.
like Bloodbraid, obviously, and then I've been on Martyr Pyromancer for a while.
And after watching the SCG tour last weekend with DeCandio's 4-color Pyromancer, I was like, oh, that seems like kind of a good idea. But the mid-range player in me said, I really don't want to play Traverse and like useless cards like Mishra's Bauble, just
Okay,
like
yeah.
horrible top decks.
Yeah.
So I'm really only splashing for Ancient Grudge and for Bloodbraid.
How many Bloodbraids do you have made?
4 of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Do you have any other changes? Like, what did you cut from the Modern Pyromancer deck? Like, what changed about your game plan when you decided to put in Bloodbraids? Are you cutting like removal spells, disruption?
So we're obviously not playing Blood Moon anymore.
Yeah.
With like the double
Yeah.
splash, it's
Okay, that-
impossible to achieve.
That makes sense.
I used to be
It's so
running 2 Collected Brutality main, 2 side, because the deck is really, really soft to burn.
Yeah.
But in our local meta, we don't have very much burn right now. So I moved all the Brutality side to make space, and I also don't run Liliana because double black is a little bit harder.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're mostly a red, like with a little bit of black, splashing white and green deck.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you're discarding souls most of the time, so you don't even cast your 1 white card that often, right?
Right.
So it's really the mana isn't as bad as it would seem.
No, it's mostly red-black.
Okay,
I mean, it's not too different from the Mardu shell.
Yeah. Does Bloodbraid Elf like help you out in some of your matchups that were more difficult? You think?
Well, so this is my first time actually playing the deck.
Okay.
And I just threw it together right before the tournament. But obviously Bloodbraid Elf is really good at turning the corner,
Yeah.
immediate value off whatever you rip off the top of your deck. Because the Mardu shell is a little bit more spells based to feed Pyromancer and Reveler, it's a little bit less impactful because I'm playing like 7 1-mana discards. So
Yeah.
in game 1 I'm going to get like an Inquisition or a Thoughtseizes a lot. But
Yeah,
I mean, it's
Bloodbraid
better
Elf
than
and the
nothing.
Faithless Looting is better than nothing, but
Yeah.
also not the best. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so Bloodbraid Elf definitely worse in your deck, but I'd imagine the punch of Bloodbraid Elf into a Bedlam Reveler,
Yeah.
like back to back, is pretty good.
Having the increased threat density is really nice too, because I think the number one problem I had with Mardu Pyromancer was great deck, super consistent, but a lot of the time you just don't find a threat, and that's what will
Yeah.
get you.
Yeah, and your deck is pretty graveyard reliant. So the question we got from chat is how do you deal with Rest in Peace and Leyline of the Void like in your deck after sideboard?
So I run 2 Wear and Tear, I think.
Yeah.
It might just be 1 today just because of the people playing.
Yeah.
But usually 2 Wear Tear, 2 Engineered Explosives, and in the previous iteration I had Manamorphose. I might try and make space for more of those. So the Manamorphose would be to generate like a higher count of colors on Engineered Explosives.
Got it. Okay, so you don't put that in for...
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and that might just be a consideration going forward, is packing like 2 or 3 Manamorphose instead of like a 3rd Kolaghan's Command or whatever,
Yeah.
just because the colors are kind
Yeah.
of difficult.
To be fair, Manamorphose is not the best hit off Bloodbraid Elf.
No, but I mean a cantrip.
It's not the worst. Yeah, it cantrips, and you
It
can
could
have
be
mana
worse.
to play the thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, isn't... I mean, I'd imagine that Bloodbraid Elf helps in those matchups. Like, when you're getting your graveyard hated out, you can't cast your Bedlam Revelers, and your, like, graveyard engine isn't great. Being able to have a Bloodbraid Elf that is kind of a
Right.
2-for-1 in its own card is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean the card is a clock
Yeah.
in and of itself, so it's just another axis to attack on, I guess.
Yeah.
And like we know from every Jund matchup ever, playing Bloodbraid Elf into Kolaghan's Command will do a very good job towards winning, no matter what deck you're actually playing.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what the rest of your cards are. You got that 1-2 punch in there.
I think the dream here is to have pitched a Reveler to an early looting, and then Bloodbraid into K Command, and like kill their blocker and buy back the.
And the
Reveler,
Reveler
or
cast
just
on next
something
turn.
ridiculous
that's
like that.
beautiful.
That's fantastic.
Okay, sweet.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kolaghan's Command is definitely the new Blightning. Would you play Blightning in that deck? Probably not.
Oh, Lightning is such a sweet card.
It
It's really sweet. I don't think it does enough anymore, and
Yeah.
like killing an artifact is really relevant.
Blightning's a common, right?
Uncommon. I'm pretty sure in every printing. Yeah.
Trat, not pop or legal.
No, it's not. Pop.
Oh, my dreams
There's
are
the
crushed.
dream. Yeah.
Oh, I had a moment there. I was like, wait a minute. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
is there anything else that you want to say about your deck going forward in the
to the
tournament?
stream.
I don't know how much you guys could see, but
I knew it. Blightning is a common. It was a common.
That is a
in
common.
Shards.
Wow, that's a common.
Okay, I'm making a new popper deck.
All right.
I'll see you all next Wednesday with my popper deck.
Yeah.
We got sidetracked. Anything else you wanted to?
Oh, I don't know if you guys saw. I put the deck together like right before the tournament, and my first like 10 cards, I think 8 of them were lands or something.
Yeah,
I was like, oh god, I'm so dead.
yeah.
But,
You
yeah, the power of Faithless Looting.
yeah. You got. It was that first game was he got close to killing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the second game, I think you're gonna die if that Anger of Gods hadn't been able to clear out all of his ways to stop your tokens from blocking.
That was the only reason that I didn't go to 5, is because I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
2 red sources in the anger.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Makes
Okay.
sense.
Well, Cool. Thanks.
Well-
Thanks for coming in here.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, we're going to be finishing out this and going to the next round real quick, and we'll be right back to you with that.
Awesome. Well,
Thank you, Saz.
thank you.
What are you playing? Didn't notice. Ready to start.
Yep, sounds good.
We're good.
You do the intro.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our stream. This is Thursday Night Modern here at Paradise Games in Bellingham. My name is Adam.
And I'm Noble.
And we're going to be here bringing you round 2. So in round 1, we had some 8-whack versus Jund 4-color Pyromancer. And we're going to be doing something a little bit different here for round 2. I know at least one of these decks is Esper Goryo's Jace Prince Prodigy control combo. We'll see how that...
And his opponent said that I asked him what he was on, he said, Grixis Garbage Pile.
Excellent!
And I'm
excited.
not exactly sure what that is. So...
It looks like that's the official name, yeah. Grixis
Grixis Garbage Pile. Maybe Grixis Garbage Control. I'm not quite sure, but either name suits. I would assume from that name that he's playing something to do with the graveyard, but, I mean, that's what Grixis...
I guess? Yeah. I'm guessing we're going to see Snapcaster Mage and Colligan's Command. Because when I think Grixis, those are like the first 2 cards I think of.
That is very fair.
I'm sure by the end of this round, we'll know at least some of the cards that are in the garbage pile. But until then...
we'll do our best guess. So it looks like it'll be kind of a grindier matchup. While the Esper Goryo's deck does play Goryo's Vengeance, it's putting into play Obsidat, not anything silly like Gristlegrands or Emrakul's.
Yeah.
And it's looking to play a more grindier mid-range deck, perhaps even Goryo's backing like Jace Prince Prodigy, flipping into Planeswalkers, and grinding out advantage that way. Obsidat, while very, very good, is still a couple turn clock, so it's not like these games are going to be over pretty quickly.
Oh, no, not even.
Looks like they'll be grindy, they'll probably exchange hand disruption, counterspell, stuff like that.
Could be that Goryo's deck is doing Emrakul Aeon's Torrent, though, which is, also works as a combo piece.
Yes. You just have to respond to the shuffle trigger with the Goryos.
Yeah.
Get in there. I believe he's just playing Jaces and 2 Obsidats, though.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean,
We'll see.
We'll see. Excellent. So, yeah, I'm excited to see this get started. I actually tried putting together an Esper Goryo's deck a little while ago, and my version didn't work out that well. I was trying something a little bit spicier.
Boy,
but...
you keep getting stomped by humans.
Yeah, it's not great there.
Okay, looks like just a flat Grixis control deck.
It looks like Steven is scrying to the top after a multi-6, and he says, "We'll see if I shuffle it away." But
It's
turns
with
out
his fetch land, but
he's not.
so it looks like he got Logic Knot, a couple lands, Colligan's Command, like you said, Thought Scour, and Lightning Bolt. Which that screams Death Shadow to me, but it's entirely possible that he's not specifically the Thought Scour. But I haven't seen a Grixis deck in a while that plays Thought Scour besides that, but it's entirely possible that...
It could just be that he's not dealing damage to himself, not playing Death Shadow, and instead is just playing Tassigurs and Gurmag Anglers and stuff as delve threats that will eventually win the game.
We'll probably play more Planeswalkers and stuff like, I don't know,
Creeping
the recently unbanned Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Yeah, that sounds like something that'll go pretty well here. So on the other side, we've got a Godless Shrine into an island and Collective Brutality... Will it be escalated once?
Which I'm guessing is Drain. Plus the ability to kind of duress your opponent. I don't actually... the life isn't particularly relevant in this matchup, but I think he just wanted to get that Souls into the graveyard to be able to flash it back.
It's just easier to cast from there. Which is interesting because I might not... knowing, both decks and knowing that Steven's deck is probably very slow... I think holding on to the Lingering Souls there might be just as good as getting into the yard and getting 2 life. But, we'll see eventually what...
Yeah, definitely. Also, of course, what I neglected to mention is that he's obviously running a Delve spell, Logic Knot, in his hand, which is the counter spell for 2 blue and X.
And you can delve away X cards.
Yeah, so you can pay mana or delve away cards to counter those spells.
And then it looks like Steven also drew Counter Squall, which is a really sweet card.
Main deck, too.
Oh, yeah. Counter Squall is great. Blue-black counter non-creature spell. Its controller loses 2 life.
So we see Steven really aggressively protecting his hand here. He counters an Inquisition and a Collective Brutality, which...
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think he wants to keep that Kolaghan's Command around, because he knows this game is going to go long, wants to be able to bring back Snapcasters, keep interacting with his opponent, and keep grinding out value.
Not even necessarily only that, though. Right here, he had 2 mana up, and he had Counter Squall that costs 2. He had a target for it, and the Inquisition was going to take a card anyway, probably the Counter Squall.
So you might as well just
You might as
cast
well
it,
just do it.
make him lose the 2 life,
Yeah.
and not give him information about your hand.
Seems fine for
that's
me.
fair. If I'm Steven, I'm looking to fire off this Thought Scour, put a creature into the graveyard, and get it back with this Kolaghan's Command on this turn.
Does he have red? Yeah, he's
Yeah.
defense. Okay, yeah. So, neat. Again, game's going to go probably very, very long.
I'm digging Stephen Boston's foil original Ravnica lands. That is
Oh, yeah.
exactly where I want to be if I'm on a Grixis deck.
See, I get the Time Spiral foil lands, but that's just me.
Okay, yeah.
Nothing else will do. Ravnica foils, Time Spiral duels, or foils, everything else is just garbage.
Yep, exactly. Any other land choice just
Oh, yeah.
automatically makes you a much worse Magic player. there is an optimal strategy for choosing lands.
Oh, yeah.
And it is the foiliest, prettiest arts that you can find.
Alright, so it looks like this Lily on the Last Hope is going to stick, because Steven, unless he opts to go for that Thought Scour instant speed, which it doesn't look like he is.
He doesn't have opt in his hand, Adam. No, but unless he decides to Thought Scour instant speed in response there, which it looks like he's doing.
No, or maybe.
Yeah, the counter's kind of below it, I would guess.
Okay,
This is in response.
okay, sure.
Yeah. If he would have chosen to Thought Scour his opponent there, he would have milled his opponent and drawn a Counter Squall. But he chose to Thought Scour himself, so he ended up bidding that Counter Squall.
Womp womp.
Not quite what he wants, but
So it looks like he won't be able to deal with this Lily on the Last Hope this turn.
so it's gonna go up to 5. He can bolt it, and then he can
command it.
put Kolaghan's Command at it.
That's
and
fine.
which will kill it and probably take a card out of his opponent's hand. So yeah, not a big deal. It effectively lets your Kolaghan's Command be a 1-for-1 with a random card in his hand and kill a Lily and let your bolt kill that Lily. But after that, then he's sitting with a Fatal Push in hand against this Esper Gorgios deck that has I believe 4 cards at this point. So his position is not looking great. He just flashed back his Lingering Souls from his graveyard that we saw him discard earlier, that Collective Brutality, to put some creatures on the board.
Hey, any amount of pressure will get there. Snapcaster Mage is a 10-turn clock here, and it'll force an answer.
So it looks like he's bolting
Lily.
Lily. Yeah, okay. That
So
makes
end
sense.
step Lightning Bolt to Liliana, so he can draw Creepy Tar Pit. I thought so. That's interesting.
I don't. Yeah, so he's gonna choose to kill the Lily here.
Probably.
Which, it's fine. I mean, I also wouldn't mind in his thought just playing that Creeping Tar Pit and then attacking it next turn.
Yeah.
But that gives your. If I'm James staring that down, I'm like, well, I'll just minus this Lily, get some value out of it. Or if he has a Fatal Push to protect it, all the better for him.
Mm-hmm.
So James Wilton has a Creeping Tar Pit of his own, and that, if he activates that, just boots that up, that's 5 power here, and that's
there
what
we
he's
go.
going to do. He's just going to start attacking.
Down to
Steve.
12.
Yeah, and that's really what I like to be doing
Or-
when my opponent is on 1 card in hand, hasn't played too much this game, just start getting in there.
Yep.
Um,
Looks like the Fatal Push will get rid of that Creeping Tar Pit, which means Steven's Creeping Tar Pit of its own will be
uncontested on this board.
Yeah, well, contested by 2 spirits.
But they can't block it, and
Yes.
they can't block them.
Well,
So-
I mean, it'll be erased though. 3
Yeah.
damage, 2 damage, 3
Yes,
damage.
that makes
Just
sense.
kidding. It looks like a Fatal Push will take care of his own.
Yeah, so we saw back-to-back their turns essentially wasted by their opponent's Fatal Pushes, but
Yeah, just blue-black things.
yeah, at the end of that, James is left with a couple more cards in hand.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks
So
like
he so James kind of looked and he saw that his opponent didn't look like they were playing too many creatures. He saw that he was kind of a more controlling deck and decided to path his own spirit in response to a Fatal Push. I would guess that he has an Obs to that in his hand. That would be my intuition at this point, because it gets him his second white source and his 5th land to cast the Obs to that.
yeah, just to make sure he can actually play it.
Exactly. Otherwise, I might be tempted to hold that for another Tar Pit or an Angler or something.
Yeah. Either way, the 5th man is probably going to be relatively important. There's a bunch of things you can do with 5 mana. Nothing. If nothing else, Snapcaster play a 3-drop again.
Yeah.
There's do multiple things in turn.
Snapcaster back to that Lingering Souls, And I was
As
right.
you do.
At the Soul Reef, he does have the Obsidian in his hand.
There you go.
That he's going to cast. And it's great for him here, because even if this gets Logic Knotted, he has a Glorious Vengeance to bring it back anyway. And the way this little interaction works is that you bring it back with Goryo's, and Goryo's is looking to exile it at the beginning of the next end step, but Obsidian exiles itself, tucks itself away.
You stack
and
the triggers right.
Yeah, if you stack the triggers right. And then it'll come back, drain your opponent for 2 life, hit for 5, and then exile itself again. And it'll effectively get to stay around after that Goryo's.
Yeah, which is why this whole thing is going to end up being an actual
Yeah.
full win condition. But let's see. Steven, after attackers, is going to play a Snapcaster Mage and flashback.
I would imagine Bolt,
Could be just Lightning Bolt, yeah.
Bolt, block,
The odds.
Bolt the Obsidat. Yeah, block the Obsidat.
Alright, so he goes to blockers and says, I'm going to block here. Or maybe he goes to blockers, not sure.
Well, he pushed before damage.
Yes.
So he did get to block, push before damage, Bolt the Spirit, because you might as well use it.
Yep.
But he's still tied to that Obsidat here.
And then Lingering Souls brings 2 more tokens. Alright, so if Steven can draw an out to the Infinite Obsidat and 2 Spirit tokens, now's the shot. Doesn't look like he can, and he's going to pack it up. And we go to game 2 with James Walton taking the first game with Esper's Goryo's Vengeance.
Now looks like we're going to check out some sideboards.
Excellent. This is where it gets interesting. Alright.
Yeah, definitely. Before both people have some cards that line up kind of poorly, maybe Hand Disruption late in the game.
Steven, going into sideboarding, says, I call it Grixis garbage pile for a reason.
Yeah. And so, and they have some dead cards in the matchup, and now they kind of get to change those out, kind of tune their decks for the long game.
Yeah.
Really play a long dynamic game. So it looks like over here for Steven Boston, we got Kalidas. Think that one's coming in?
It could.
Not great, though.
It's fine. In this matchup, it's probably going to be a 3/4 lifelink that gets Fatal Pushed.
Yeah.
Or Path. Or
Yeah.
something, and that's about it. James, on the other hand, very well might be taking out some number of Path Exiles.
Yeah.
He's probably keeping in Fatal Push for the Creeping Tar Pit, but Path's probably coming out.
So the other stuff we got from Steven Boston is Ceremonious Projection, not what this matchup for. Damnation as well. Cleans up Lingering Souls, but you still probably don't want it. Dreadbore, which I would also guess is not going to be great.
Thoughtseize, I think, is not really where he needs to be here.
I agree.
Right? Yeah.
Vendilion Clique seems a little better. It instead of putting those cards in the graveyard, it could take an Obsidian, put it on the bottom, so you don't have to deal with it, and provide a Clock in the Air.
Yeah, the Clock in the Air is
Yeah.
big. Although James's deck does create a large number of Spirit tokens.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of, is it Staticaster Mage to deal with?
I love Staticaster here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please up Snapcaster Mages as well.
Then kind of the whammies, these 5-drops that just are meant to win the game out of this garbage Grixis deck. A Batterskull, a Keranos God of Scorns, and a Scarab God.
Now that Scarab God, Stephen motioned to it a little bit earlier and said, well, I guess I put the Scarab God in my sideboard for a reason. That'll be able to pull the Obsidat out of the yard when James goes to Goryo's it. It'll just be
Grind
good.
out 4/4s.
Oh man, that seems amazing.
Yeah,
there.
activate Scarab God targeting a Snapcaster Mage, put a 4/4 Snap into play, and flash something back.
Yeah. If you make a copy of embalmed copy, or what's it called? Eternalized copy of Jace Vryn's Prodigy, it has no backside, which means when you tap it, it just exiles itself. And yeah,
less cool. I'm pretty sure Steven was saying that out loud.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, that's not...
Trying to figure out how cool it is. Either way, on the other side, in James's sideboard, he's got a Blood Baron of Vizkopa, which I think is perfect here.
Yeah, protection from black.
Oh,
Very
so
good against that stuff like Gromag Angler that we're talking about. It just makes it so hard to remove for the Grixis deck.
Kalidas, it'll be...
It's too big to be bolted, you can't push it, because it's pro-black, and because its mana cost is too big.
Yep.
And you can't cast Terminates or Dreadboards on it.
Yeah, no, it just seems actually unbeatable. Yep. Kalidas is similarly just a 3/4 lifelink, which is fine. You'll play it, I guess, but it probably doesn't come in. Detention Sphere seems equally
fine.
Yeah.
If he's expecting Steven's deck to have a large number of planeswalkers,
Yeah,
which
that might be good.
because James didn't really see any threats out of Steven's deck.
He just saw some bolts, some pushes, some commands.
Yeah, which are usually being backed up by a Jason Mind Sculptor or a Liliana Last Hope or something like that.
Yeah.
He's a creeping target, sure, but Detention Sphere isn't hitting that. So I don't know if you're putting in Detention Spheres, James. What else has he got? He's got 2 Counter Squalls, 2
Definitely
Nihil
coming in.
Spell Bombs,
I would put those in as well.
2 a Supreme Will. I love Supreme Will here for James.
Yeah, so wasting a Rax in the stack, those Counter Squalls, those Supreme Wills are pretty good here. Nihil Spellbomb, target his opponent's graveyard. It counters a Snapcaster Mage and doesn't even need to leave any mana up.
Yep.
Well,
And
counters
draws
the
card again.
ability.
Yeah.
And if you leave a mana up, can pay a card to counter that, to draw a card off of its ability.
Yeah. So we'll probably definitely see these games go a little bit grindier now after sideboarding because everyone's able to take out their dead cards and put in exactly what they need for the other person.
That game was pretty well set up to be grindy. The thing is, Stephen Boston just drew a couple lands in a row. His lightning bolts and snaps didn't really match up well against that.
And I'm saying it's going to be even grindier than it was even set up to be because now people have the right answers, not just good answers.
Right. So Steven's not going to be stuck with lightning bolts in his hand anymore. That's another card that's coming out.
Probably, yeah.
I don't love that card in this matchup.
Yeah.
Sure, it kills Jace, which Steven can assume he's playing, but it's not that great.
Yeah.
So the Goryo's Vengeance deck over here, piloted by James Wilton, is going to be on the mulligan to 6, while Stephen Boston did keep.
Great. James Wilton's deck could really go 2 ways. One of them is the super grindy plan where he, counter spells things.
Flip a Snapcaster, Goryo, or flip a Jace.
And then just use the ultimate to win the game eventually. Or James can just, at some point, play Jace on 2, then discard an Obsidat, bring it back with Goryo's on turn 3, and use that to just win the game right there on the spot.
Yep.
So how fast this game is going to go, I think, is going to depend on James Wilton's hand and what the game plan looks like that he's keeping. So it looks like he's keeping his 6, scrying to the top, scrying to the top. And we're off to the races. Steven's got a Scalding Tarn and pass a turn.
Probably going to find a tap duel here. He doesn't have anything else on, except for maybe a Stomp. Thought Scour, what am I saying?
And they're figuring out turn 1. Looks like the Polluted Delta will find an island. every single time a life total is changing, like for instance that Polluted Delta right there. They're yelling at Brad, the guy on the computer doing all life totals. Hey, life total's changing, and then laughing.
Yeah,
we heard through the wall.
we hear through the wall.
But hey, keeping track of those 1 point that's important.
Yeah. So he casts his Serum Visions, set up his next couple turns, scry 2. He has a Fatal Push still in his deck and a Surge for Escanta.
Is that?
That's what it looks like. This little symbol in the top left corner.
Yeah, it does.
See, when I see that top card in James's hand, I immediately think Glittering Wish. I know it's not Glittering Wish, but
Yeah.
that's what it looks like to me.
Isn't Glittering Wish the white-green one?
Yeah, white-green tutor for a multicolored card in your sideboard. Oh, so good. That would be so spicy in this deck. Yeah, see right there. I don't think it's a Glittering Wish.
Here's the Search for Escanta.
In fact, it is
But
not a Glittering Wish,
Yeah.
but... so the Search for Escanta is going to be countered unless James pays 1
I
mana.
was thinking suspicion that this Esper deck isn't playing Glittering Wish, but you can dream out.
But if he was... Oh, that'd be so sweet.
What, you find your Obsidats, I guess?
That's not even bad.
That seems pretty bad.
But when it's good, it's good. There you go.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
You can Glittering Wish
can't
for-
argue with that.
Yeah.
That statement has no substance.
Fair enough.
Either way, looks like the Logic Knot will counter the Search for Escanta, which is huge, by the way. That Search for Escanta will pretty easily single-handedly win the game for James if this game goes 20, 30 turns down the road.
Puts excess. It doesn't even need to go that far. Like, you put a couple excess lands in the graveyard, you flip that over, you use it to find some Goryos.
Yeah.
Goryos or 2, reanimate an Obsidat, and that's just game.
Yeah.
Its trigger at the beginning of upkeep can put Obsidats in the graveyard, and its activated ability on the land side can find those Goryo's Vengeance in the top 4.
That's what I thought it was. It's a new Art Inquisition of Kozilek. Glittering Wish has a similar little glowing ore. Yeah, not the point. Either way, Inquisition of Kozilek is going to see 2 cryptic commands, a Dreadbore, a Lightning Bolt, and a Swamp. So, Dreadbore or Bolt, and almost definitely Bolt, right? Because Dreadbore is pretty bad here.
Yeah, it never really hits knobs to that.
Yeah.
I would just take the Bolt, I think. And I don't really even love that still being in the deck from Steven, but looks like he's trying the Dreadbore. Perhaps he has a Liliana or something he wants to resolve, or that.
There you go. Yeah, Jade's Prince Prodigy in hand, which then makes sense.
I mean,
well, the thing is, he's gonna kill it here no matter what happens.
yeah, but I would much prefer
2 mana.
on my opponent's turn as opposed to what's going to happen here. Actually, the play I like from Stephen Boston here.
Interesting.
Yeah. I want to be activating that Field of Ruin to get my blue to cast those cryptic commands as soon as possible.
Yeah, because if he had what Steven could have done there. No, because then he still didn't have blue. If you wanted to, he could have have the Field of Ruin, search up a mountain, use that mountain to kill the Jace with the lightning. Anyway, here's another similarly interesting interaction. For those who don't know, Goryo's Vengeance, like it does the thing with the Obsidat, where Obsidat never goes away. If you're getting back Jace Vryn's Prodigy, you can then tap the Vryn's Prodigy, draw a card, transform Jace, and send to exile and came back in. It no longer gets exiled at the end of turn.
Yeah, it's no longer the same object that left.
Yep.
And so it's not the thing that Goryo's Vengeance remembers to exile.
Yep. So it looks like he's going to tap the Jace, draw a card, discard a card, and flip his Jace, and then just get to keep the Jace.
Yep.
One of my favorite interactions.
2 mana Planeswalker out of nowhere that also loots you is pretty good.
Yeah, it is. The sweet things, if a creature's swinging at you, you can Goryo's instant speed, block, pull out a Jace, block with it, tap it, turn into a Planeswalker, no combat damage dealt. Oh, I love this deck. So it looks like the card he discarded was a Lingering Souls, and so he'll be able to, in this turn, go from no board state to a flip Jace and 2 Spirit Tokens, which is pretty nice. Definitely pretty nice for him.
Yeah.
Steven, on the other hand, is going to...
Yeah, he's Field of Ruining that Goblet Shrine. His opponent's getting a Plains, which will come and play untapped for James Woolton. Players should have noticed that.
Fixed, hopefully.
Get that corrected real quick.
I doubt it'll really matter.
Yeah, unless he has a path and his opponent plays a creature.
Yeah.
Both of which are not particularly likely.
But yeah, Steven's going to be untapping with Cryptic Command mana, which is fine here, but not even that good, because James already has 2 threats and a Jace, which is kind of what you're looking to Cryptic Command in the first place, to counter those. But, Keranos, God of Storms, is not going to be played.
But what's going to happen here, we're going to have Snapcaster flashing back that Dreadbore to take care of that Jace.
Yep.
And then, looks like he'll pass back to his opponent. Now he's looking in a better position with 2 Cryptic Commands and a Keranos in his hand. He's well poised to just be able to take over this game as soon as he hits lands.
I think that Keranos is going to be what wins in the game here.
Yeah.
You know, a ways down the line after a bunch of counterspells back and forth. But I don't think James has a clean answer to Keranos anywhere in his deck, and eventually it'll just give Steven so much value that...
That's where something like this Tension Sphere would come in to be able to actually interact.
Yeah, if we get a game 3 and James sees the Keranos, then Tension Sphere, I would imagine, is coming in.
Yeah.
Cool. So it looks like James is going to fire for Serum Visions. Think for a sec, and then find a Fatal Push and play
Snapcaster and then start getting with those Lingering Souls, I'd expect.
Yeah, Snapcaster's a clock.
Yeah, second Jace. To be able to flip turn that Planeswalker again. Put them all on tap. Staticaster is pretty good here.
Staticaster seems very good here.
There's not, in my opinion, there's not really a rush. I don't know if I would Staticaster here. Staticaster has Flash. I would probably be looking to pass the turn with Cryptic Command up, counter anything my opponent did, and then flash in the Staticaster at the end of turn. I don't think those 2 life points really matter all that much. But, you know. I'm just a guy in a booth.
Yeah. You can do it before...
Yeah, this way makes it so those Spirit Tokens are dying before James untaps with Counterspell mana, but Steven hasn't even seen any Counterspells out of James yet, so...
I think you definitely do that, because once you get the Staticaster in play, James has probably taken a bunch of removal out of his deck, which means the Staticaster is going to be sticking around.
Yeah, except
There's two reasons that I don't really like.
Sure. There are various ways he can do this, but
Yeah.
that he can get rid of the Staticaster. But I don't know.
Yeah, I like leaving up the mana there because he has another Lingering Souls in his graveyard. If he attacks me for 2, I take you go to 13 as Steven. And he flashes back Lingering Souls, that's fine with me. That resolves, and then I get to play Snapcaster and kill all 4 of the tokens. That seems great.
Does James know he has?
Okay, yeah, no. James's Jace did turn on Revolt there, and he could have the Jace exiles himself and comes back, and then he can flash back or play from hand. I don't know if he has with hand, but he could minus a Jace to Fatal Push that Staticaster.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It would get rid of the Staticaster, but that's a lot of resources and time spent just getting rid of what is effectively a 0/3.
Yeah.
Now all James has to do is not play a game plan that relies on having 2 spirits, which he's definitely set up to do.
Yeah.
And he'll be fine. So Steven over here has 2 Cryptic Commands in hand, plus the Jace on the Staticaster, and I would imagine that if James doesn't do anything, Steven will fire off a Cryptic Command at the end of the turn to
Bounce
don't know.
Jace, draw a card.
maybe even bounce Creeping Tar Pit, draw a card. But either way. But it looks like that Cryptic Command will be met by a Counter Squall. Steven was the one that had Counter Squall last game, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So we've got 2 different decks running Counter Squalls coming up against each other. I love Counter Squall. But
That is kind of sweet. Okay, now we got the big bad, Keranos, God of Storms Resolving. It's a 6/5 for 5, but it's only a creature as long as your devotion to blue and red is less than 7 or more.
that's not the important part.
Yeah, which is not really going to happen in this game unless he finds something like a Snapcaster and another Staticaster. But boy, is the fact that it's a 6/5 indestructible for 5 not what's important about this card. Its second ability says, reveal the first card you draw on each of your turns. Whenever you reveal a land card this way, draw a card. Whenever you reveal a non-land card this way, cast Lightning Bolt. Deal 3 damage to target creature or player. So this Keranos effectively draws him 2 cards a turn, no matter what. Sometimes it's just a free bolt. And the rest of the time, when it's a land, it's another card off the top of his deck.
Yeah, which is exactly what he wants here.
Yeah.
That 3 damage a turn is going to be able to be a clock. It can kill planeswalkers. It can kill what's it called? Lingering Souls tokens.
James Woolton reads it, says...
Steven.
No, James Woolton reads the
Sure.
the Purphoros, says... Keranos. All these gods. Keranos says, what? And Stephen Boss replies with, I've actually made it a creature once. I would imagine with some combination of those Staticasters that we were talking about before.
Yeah.
So Thoughtseize here, a turn too late to take that Keranos.
Yep.
Which might actually spell the death of James Woolton here.
But James did stick a Search for Azcanta.
Ooh.
Oh, man. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Being flipped off the Keranos.
It's going to deal 3 damage to the other Jace, Battle of the Jaces.
And they'll play
His Jace.
Hey, Adam,
the Jace game.
devotion here is 6.
It is, isn't it?
Yep, Jace is a permanent that adds 2 to devotion. So we are 1 blue or red pip away from Keranos being a 6/5 indestructible.
I'm into that.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Stephen Boston remarking, my Jace draws all the cards, and yes, it is better than yours. I don't think it's particularly debatable that when you resolve the Jace the Mind Sculptor, it's a little bit better than having a resolved Jace something Telepath?
Unbound Telepath?
Jace Telepath Unbound.
One of those. Either way, the other side of Jace. Hey, that Jace is good. That Jace is very good.
Sure, it's just not the Mind Sculptor. It's not 4 abilities, one of which is Brainstorm, one of which is Fate Sealer, Scry 1, and one of which is Bounce Target, creature your opponent's control.
Yeah. Probably not.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, either way, we got a battle of Jaces here, but Jason Mind Sculptor is being backed up by a Staticaster and a Keranos, so I don't think that James will have much of a shot going late this game, even though he does have Azcanta, the Sunken Ruin, going.
Steven says Teferi Mage of Zalfir is the main way he's turning on that Keranos.
Oh, that's great.
Which is fair.
Teferi is amazing. Has 3 mana symbols. The rest of it doesn't matter, but it's got blue, blue, blue in its mana cost. That's what Steven's probably
Turns on Keranos and Thassa.
Oh, so good. See, now I just want to play Mono Blue Devotion in Modern.
So now,
that's an entirely different.
I don't actually know how I feel about this. He path that is it Staticaster.
Yeah.
I don't think that card is really doing all that much here.
Yeah.
And I would kind of prefer to take that path for if Stephen Boss never makes the mistake of putting another color pip on the table.
Oh, that's good.
Having Keranos.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah.
But he does need to make those Lingering Souls tokens so he can pressure Jace the Mind Sculptor before he gets out of control.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but
This is probably right.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Steven, I'm turning on that Keranos if I can.
Yeah. Oh yeah, attack with a 6/5.
Yeah, that's a
That's
clock.
great.
That's a pretty good clock there. Unless he does expect Path to be in his hand, James's at least. What's that flip? That is a Lily on the Last Hope.
Yep.
So, what's better than a board with Jason Mind Sculptor and Keranos? Same board with a Lily Last Hope.
to start
as
killing
well.
those tokens. Oh, that's
Yeah.
kind of brutal.
This is very, very brutal. So yeah, by garbage pile, Steven actually means a pile of good Grixis control cards.
Very good Planeswalkers. He's gonna cast a Brainstorm.
Wow.
Off his Jace. 0 mana, draw 3 cards, put 2 back on top of your library.
He saw Terminate, Call Against Command, Spell Snare. That's just exactly what he wants here.
Yeah.
Ways to answer his opponent's answers to his Planeswalkers.
Yeah, exactly.
And he here is able to hold up Call Against Command. Didn't he have keep Call Against Command in his hand? I don't know if he did. But if he did, he's holding up both of them now. Right? Or no, that's a
Counter
defense.
Squall. Counter Squall.
No, he doesn't have black mana.
No, he does not.
Yep. Doesn't hold up Counter Squall. Just kidding. Either way.
He does have Spell Snare for an opponent's Counter Squall or negate there. Or any of the 2 mana answers to Planeswalkers.
Yeah, Dreadbore, something like that.
There aren't a ton in
Yeah,
the
in
Esper deck,
Esper,
but-
yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes, it looks like James missed his Kanta at the end of the turn and just scooped it up right there.
yeah, he's games will probably drag on for a couple more turns, but it is effectively just over.
Yeah, there's not much you can do there except for Merciless Eviction. That would be good there.
Exile all Planeswalkers.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I don't think that's quite the modern stable. You
Probably
wanted to
not
know.
in James's main deck there.
Oh, never mind. It looks like he did activate his Kanta, but he saw Land Jace Snapcaster, which doesn't answer Keranos Jace Lily,
And you can't take the Jace because it's, of course, the flip Jace.
right. Yeah, no,
Not
wow.
the Jace the Mind Sculptor, so he just saw
You just saw
no
nothing.
hits.
Yeah, okay, sure. So, either way, James didn't really find answers and scooped him up and went to game 3. So, here they are figuring out if they want to switch anything up between games.
Yeah, James Bolton will definitely be boarding and stuff like that intention stream now, but now he sees a little bit more about how his opponent's deck works.
Bunch of Planeswalkers is... Yeah, you need to get rid of those, and the best way to get rid of those is probably with that Detention Sphere. Other than that, it's just what combination of instant and sorcery, answers and things he wants to play. He probably plays Duress here. I think I would keep in Duress as James.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, Duress seems great. And he's got some Thoughtseizes and Inquisition of Kozilek, and
work on those Planeswalkers.
yep. And so hopefully James will be able to come up with for James he's hoping to come up with just enough hand disruption to make it so Steven doesn't have any actual threats and any actual clocks, and then stick a couple tokens of his own and then do the Obsdat thing and hope that's good enough. Steven, on the other hand, is looking to make sure that he slows the game down enough that one Planeswalker plus a Cryptic Command or something will be enough to
win in the game.
To win in the game. And we will see exactly how well that goes for both these players in a minute or so when they start the next game.
Interestingly enough, when these games go long and get particularly grindy, both decks are actually playing a couple copies of Search for Azcanta, which is a really important value engine there.
Yeah.
Wasn't enough for James Bolton, but if it had been in play earlier, then it might have been. Yeah.
No, if that had been a turn 2 Search for Azcanta,
which he
that
did
would've-
cast, it just got countered.
Yeah, it would have been very different. But yeah, let's it's funny. There's not much you can really predict or whatever or anything like that about these two decks going up against each other, because it's not draw dependent in the sense that what they draw is gonna dictate what they play and how they play it, but it's more like if they draw a bunch of threats, then that's what they're doing. If they draw a bunch of answers, then they're gonna be they'll go longer.
And it also all depends on if those threats and answers are a bunch of like Lilianas to get on the board early, or if it's stuff like NJ's Friends Prodigy, or if it's stuff like Keranos and
Jason
hardcasting Obsidat, which we saw in the first game.
Right.
Um,
Really dictate the speed of the game.
yeah. So James looking at a hand of Path Exile.
Floodstrand Island, Collective Brutality, Thoughtseize at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Thoughtseize, Path, Collective Brutality, and 4 lands. That's a lot of answers, not a lot of threats. How do you feel about this hand, this matchup, Adam?
Man, I personally would keep this. I think it might be better to mulligan.
There's a Creeping Tar Pit. That does.
There was a creeping
impressive.
tar pit. Never mind. I didn't see the creeping tar pit. Yeah,
Snap
no,
Cube.
that's great.
Okay. That's
Tar
what I
Pit-
thought.
Tar pit deals with planeswalkers. Tar pit is a clock. It's just great. Looks like he drew a Seachrome Coast and is now probably going to fire off Collective Brutality, Duressing, and...
I wouldn't discard here. There's no creature on board.
Yeah.
The life drain doesn't really matter. He puts Stephen Boston throws his Cryptic Command in his graveyard for his opponent because Cryptic Command is one of his 2 spells, the other of which is another Cryptic Command.
Yep.
And the rest of his hand is a couple lands, Keranos, Snapcaster, maybe one other card that I missed, but maybe.
Yeah, I
not.
saw Keranos, Snapcaster, Cryptic, so...
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's what it is.
Maybe a Jason there. That's a card Collective Brutality can't take.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, the only option is Cryptic Command. Guess Cryptic Command's going away.
No, yeah, there's no. It's just lands, no Jace.
Yeah.
So now he's drawing a Logic Knot for turn, which is good draw. You know the saying, discard does not have protection from top decks, and it's true here. He's drawing Steve Boston drawing the perfect card for his turn 2 play. James Wilden can't be that upset about this. It does really suck for him that he's not going to be able to remove that Perforos.
Yeah, Thoughtseize getting countered is fine.
Not great, yeah. But the Logic Knot is exactly what Stephen Boston needs here.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, so it looks like... Is that a Search for Iskanta?
Yes.
Alright.
Which that's kind of exactly what he's looking for. Being able to split
seems
that search for
great.
Iskanta through counter magic.
Yeah.
And now we're going to see a not quite a famous modern duel, Search for Iskanta versus Keranos God of Storms, but definitely an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely.
So Stephen Boston is not playing that Field of Ruin in his hand, probably because he's planning to use it on that flip Search for Iskanta the Sunken Ruin.
Yeah.
Which is a perfect answer to that card advantage engine.
And Steven has other answers to Creeping Tar Pit. It's not like he's going to be...
Yeah, he doesn't need to.
He doesn't
try
need
to
to
do
do
it
it right now. Although, I would not fault him fully for using the Field of Ruin on the Creeping Tar Pit.
Yeah, especially because it doesn't cut your opponent off black mana. It lets them search for a swamp, but then their mana base is Island, Swamp, Seachrome Coast, which doesn't cast white and black spells super well.
Yeah. But yeah. Steven going for the Iskanta in the future is probably better for his Field of Ruin.
Yeah.
So it looks like we've got Snapcaster Thoughtseize, which sees... Let's see. We have nothing new that we don't know about. We have Cryptic Command, Keranos, Snapcaster.
Yes.
Interesting they didn't take the Keranos and instead took the second Cryptic Command.
No. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Okay, so... Seeing that from Steven's seat, I would think that James has some way to finish out the game relatively quickly. He doesn't want disrupted.
Or, yeah, so potentially like Agoria is bringing back an Obsidat, which does do pretty well against Keranos. It doesn't really matter if you're drawing 2 cards a turn, if you're getting beaten to death by a 5/5 that drains you 2 whenever it enters, which is every turn.
Or he just has an answer to the Keranos, which is also entirely possible.
Yeah, but
Detention
less
Sphere.
likely than that he has an answer to the Crypt Command, right? Like, he probably has more counter spells in his deck than he does Detention Sphere.
But he could have a Detention Sphere in hand, or something like
yeah.
that. Which is reasonably possible. Alright, so Liliana the Last Hope is Steven's play here on turn 4.
Yeah.
Instead of holding up the Cryptic that he doesn't have in hand anymore. And James is...
That seems pretty right.
Yeah, it turns out. James is going to go back, and he's currently resolving his Search for Iskanta trigger. Which is... Yeah, no, Search for Iskanta is exactly what he wants here, and it's I think going to end up proving itself as one of the better cards in recent, at least in Rivals of Ixalan.
Or in regular
modern.
Ixalan. Yeah.
Yeah, regular Ixalan, but yeah, you're right. For modern, at least.
Yeah, definitely. And it's pretty good in standard too.
It is, yeah. I just love that card. Either way, we have Serum Visions, yeah. James is going digging. And
Yeah, with a Scry and a Serum Visions, he's seeing 4 cards this turn.
Yep.
Looking for an answer to that Liliana, that Keranos, and a way to pull ahead. Something like an Ozbazat does do it pretty well. Kind of exactly what he's looking for.
You think?
Yeah, it pressures the Liliana pretty well, and it'll race that Keranos reasonably.
But it looks like he's just passing the turn back.
Yeah. Stephen Boston draws a land. I am just tempted to slam that Keranos on the table. So it's so unlikely that
That
he
James-
has any kind of answer for it on the stack.
Sure.
But James said on your draw step, stop. I
have effects.
Yeah, I'm gonna search up this play, and he might be casting Vendilion Click
That's
here.
definitely click.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Little
means,
prospect
look
click.
at that, he did have an answer for the Keranos that we saw a couple turns ago.
Yeah, but it's still not great for him because what's gonna happen here is that Lily's gonna uptick, kill that Vendilion Click for free, and since the Vendilion Click replaces the Perforos, he's not even going up on the exchange. Keranos.
He's not going up in the exchange, but Keranos is a very important card.
That's true.
And if you can answer the Keranos, Steven doesn't have that many cards in his deck, I wouldn't think, that are actually relevant here. He's got Serum Visions, he's got Hand Disruption, he's got
Snapcaster
Mages, which are good. They're gonna Cryptic Man, that's fine. But if you're hitting one of his, 12 threats.
Yeah. Probably less.
Probably less, yeah.
5 or 6.
Yeah. I like James's line here.
So this makes me like Thought Seizing the Cryptic Command a little more, especially because Thought Seizing that Cryptic Command earlier would have put Perforos in the graveyard, where it's a Keranos.
Still Keranos.
Keranos in the graveyard, where it's a perfect target for that Liliana's -2.
Yeah.
Milling 2 and bringing back the Keranos.
That would have not been great.
Yeah. But the fact that this puts the Keranos on the bottom of the library is very big here.
Great. Yeah, so I'm gonna go back and say, yeah, well done, James Walton, for taking the line exactly as he did it and playing around everything that Steven's going to be doing this game, theoretically.
I mean,
that we've seen so far.
I still would have preferred using the Vendilion Click to ambush the Liliana, but that's the point.
I like James's line here. Either way, looks like Steven's going to do exactly what you said, plus on the Vendilion Click and pass turn back?
Yes,
Not slamming the... Yeah, Keranos is gone, so they're...
Yeah, he has...
Snapcaster, Bolt, Field of Ruin. See, now if James can deal with the Liliana, he's got it.
Yeah.
By it, I mean, he's dealt with all of the present threats and has an Azcanta the Sunken Ruin going.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's not going to be easy to do through a bolt snap bolt here from Stephen Boston. It's... My guess how this game plays out is he leverages that Field of Ruin. Interesting that he didn't play the Field of Ruin to be able to kill that
Creeping Tarpit.
Creeping Tarpit or Azcanta.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to waste a turn of being able to activate Field of Ruin. But since James decided to boot up that Creeping Tarpit, it's going to be able to eat a bolt. And Steven is going to use that bolt to kind of eat James's turn because he used 4 lands to attack that Liliana, and then it all got disrupted by a bolt.
So it looks like Steven's game plan is now hope that Liliana wins the game for me.
Yep.
Which is... That'll happen. That'll definitely do it. Shuffling that Keranos to not the bottom anymore.
The fetch land, yeah.
Yeah. The deck is not spread out across the table, hopefully.
Yeah.
Third time that James has knocked Steven's deck
Boy,
over.
you know what I think when I see 5 shock lands on my opponent's side? I just really wish that I had a Blood Moon in my deck. I know he doesn't, but
Splash the Blood Moon.
That's a pretty greedy mana base that Stephen Boston has going on right there.
It is, yeah. So it looks like Steven's going to, on his main phase, crack the Field of Ruin, get rid of that Iskanta,
Doesn't
and
want
then have 4 mana for Snapcaster Logic Knot, right?
Yeah, doesn't want his opponent to be able to untap and then be able to get even a single activation out of that Iskanta the Sunken Ruin.
Yep. This seems right. So that was most of the ways that James gets back parity against this Liliana.
And it's just looking like it's poised to take over the game. Is it 6?
I see. It was at 4, 5, 6, or 7 now.
I believe so.
Just up to 7. Yeah.
Just up to 7, which means unless he has something he can do in the next turn, James might just lose that Liliana ult. That ultimate is so hard to ever come back from.
Yes.
But Detention Sphere going on the table
There you go.
from James Fulton is a perfect answer to that Liliana. But I guess Steve Boston's going to want to respond with a Cryptic Command here.
There's no way that resolves. Yeah.
Yeah, unless there's a counter flop to Molten.
That's so much less exciting than Dragon Lord Silumgar. Take your Liliana, ult your Liliana. Oh man.
Yeah, not a huge played card in Modern.
I love Dragon Lord Silumgar in Modern in the sideboard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would be playing if I was playing Esper Control, and I wanted to have a sweet sideboard, not necessarily that sideboard.
I mean, in this position, he could Gorya's Vengeance back from the graveyard, steal the old Lily,
oh,
the
that'd be
Lily,
so good.
swing into 3.
But it looks like we have the slightly less spicy line of Detention Sphere. Your Lily gets countered, and then next turn Liliana ultimates.
That's just an endless stream of 2-power creatures.
Which James basically can't beat.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he had a perfect line of Obsidat, find a way to get into play, and then deal with your zombies every single turn, even that doesn't really get there.
Yeah, and it looks like Steve Boston on Grixis garbage manages to take the match 2-1 and go to a respectable 6 points. Not looking too garbage right now.
Yeah, good timing too.
Yeah.
5 minutes left in the round means we'll have just a second to figure out what our next round is going to be. It looks like I'm pretty sure everyone else in the tournament is done with their thing, so we'll be able to
Get another round started up for you, and we'll be right back.
Yep. See you in a sec.
I noticed the 2 down foot.
Cryptic Command's such a good card. I want to play a deck where I cast Cryptic Command. I don't have one. Yeah, that's... So it looks like Soren's on black-white, and Steven's on his Grixis garbage pile. So you can update those if you want. We've got black-white Soren on black-white against, I think black-white tokens maybe, against Grixis garbage pile.
Sweet.
I still think we should get the Sikili cat back in play at some point.
The what deck?
The Sikili.
Is there one?
Yeah. That's the guy I pointed to you. You were like, oh, we're gonna get the 3 other person.
Oh.
Yes, we are ready.
Either way, we're ready. Maybe round 4.
What is I'll see this again question later. Yeah, we're ready.
Alright, welcome back, everyone.
Thursday Night Modern here at Paradise Games.
Yep.
We're your casting team. I am Noble.
My name is Adam.
And this looks like it's gonna be Grixis. It gets there. THEIR gets there. What?
Yeah.
Actually,
What exactly are they getting?
Yeah.
Huh.
Gets their wins. I
There
would
we go.
assume.
Oh,
Okay.
it's that. I see.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so we've got the same Grixis deck that we saw last time being piloted by Steven against Soren Wellman on Espergor's Vengeance?
No,
I doubt it.
I think it's a.
He said black. He told me black-white. So that could be black-white tokens. That could be some sweet Soren Planeswalker control
I
deck.
hope he's playing Tribal Sorens.
Oh, that would be so good.
Hate to assume things based on the man's name, but if this guy doesn't have a Soren Planeswalker in his deck, I will be sorely disappointed.
Sorely disappointed. All right, we'll see. We'll see soon enough which version of black-white he's on.
Yeah.
And
So Steven's looking at opening hand. Yes.
yes.
A pair of lands, a Thought Scour, a Kolgan's Command, a Damnation, now a Creeping Carpet that he drew for turn, and a Lightning Bolt and a Cryptic Command.
Damnation.
Interestingly enough, he chose not to fetch on his first turn. Ooh.
Okay.
I think it might be Pox.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be sweet. I haven't actually seen this deck
I know the deck. You know, I know the cards. I've seen I've read about it, but I've never actually seen the deck be played. I'm really excited to see this. This will be sweet.
Yeah.
So either way, Bloodghast on turn 2. For those of you who don't know what Bloodghast is, it's basically a 2/1 that never dies.
Yeah, it's a 2/1 that whenever you play a land, you can return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. And it has haste if your opponent has 10 or less life.
Yeah.
Not relevant right now, but later in the game, if you play a land, return a couple Bloodghast from your graveyard, you can start getting in there.
Oh man, and against this Grixis deck we were talking about last time about, oh yeah, 1 Lingering Souls token. That's a reasonable clock. This, Bloodghast never dying, just 2 you every single turn. That's great. That's exactly what Soren wants.
So, interestingly enough, our Steven over here didn't shock to cast that Thought Scour, which means he hasn't really been filling up his graveyard all game.
Well, this way he'll be able to end step, activate Field of Ruin, get an island, play the Thought Scour.
Yeah, I mean,
So
and
that's
that works too.
So it looks like Lingering Souls here for Soren is going to get 2 tokens.
He's going to cast his...
End step, Thought Scour.
Yeah.
Not going for the
Card.
Field of Ruin. Okay.
I think it might be in response to the Souls. Maybe not. And now he's bolting, I would guess, the Bloodghast.
Interesting.
It's an interesting decision. He has that Damnation, so I might be tempted to bolt the Bloodghast.
Bolt the Spirit.
Yeah, that seems fine. The Damnation is clearing everything up again, so I'd rather deal with the Bloodghast twice.
Well, he's just not
than
playing
deal
it
with
here.
it. Yeah. And he probably won't for a couple more turns, but
I mean, it's not like dealing with Bloodghast twice matters. Soren's going to be playing a land next turn, which means even if you don't deal with the Bloodghast, it will, it would have the same effect.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so
Getting in for 3 here. Except he wouldn't be taking 2, because the land brings it back.
that's true.
It's tapped, and if
There's
he
no
misses
haste.
a land drop, which I don't think he's going to, but it would be pretty good.
Yes. So it looks like Soren's going to fire off an Inquisition of Kozilek.
Just kind of get a peek at his opponent's hand. So
Probably be taking
Yeah.
Snapcaster Mage.
yeah,
if
you
it
definitely
resolves.
don't. He could
Oh,
fire
he's a
off
kick command.
Cryptic Command here, but definitely not looking to trade 4 mana for 1 mana.
Yeah.
And leave down your Cryptic Shields because, of course, Inquisition of Kozilek can't take Cryptic Command.
Yeah.
So he, no matter what, Steven's going to be able to leave up Cryptic Command this turn.
Yep. Which seems pretty good for him. So what do you think you take here?
It's definitely either the Snapcaster or the Colgan's Command. Spellstorm's not going to matter that much at this point in the game, and a 1-for-1 isn't that important. Given that my opponent has the Colgan's Command and the Snapcaster, it almost doesn't matter, right? Because he takes the Colgan's Command, later in the game he's going to play Snapcaster Mage, flashback Colgan's Command. Or if he takes the Snapcaster Mage, he's going to Colgan's Command back Snapcaster, and Snapcaster back Colgan's Command. So I think I would be looking to do exactly what he did here. Take that Colgan's Command.
Yep, so that the other
yeah,
kick command doesn't
Because
get extra
the other
value.
way, you take Snap, Colgan's Command gets it back, Snap back Colgan's Command. Now they've cast 2 Colgan's Command. Whereas this way, you take the Colgan's Command, a Snap Colgan's Command only lets you ever cast 1 Colgan's Command. I said the words
Colgan's
before.
Command, Colgan's Command, Colgan's Command.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Steven in between rounds. He said, you know what, he asked his opponent, you know what my favorite thing to do in Modern is? He was like, what? He's like, casting Colgan's Command. One of the roads is return target creature from my graveyard to my hand and target Keranos, God of Storms. Return it to my hand.
Now,
and
how
have my
good-
opponent look at their counter spells while I put a 5-minute enchantment that is technically a creature onto
Yep.
the sack.
Just enough of a creature to not get hit by Counter Squall.
Indeed.
Yeah. How do you like Keranos in this matchup?
It seems pretty good.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure how pox Soren actually is. It looks like he's just playing inevitable cards.
I don't know, Gravecrawler, Urborg kind of screams Pox to me specifically because it turns your mostly black deck,
Yeah.
and it turns your Flagstones of Trocare
Yeah.
into black sources, so you can cast turn 2 Smallpox.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty confident he's on Pox at this point.
Okay, cool.
Gravecrawl is also sweet.
Yeah, and great in the Pox deck.
Yes. Yeah, Flagstones of Trocare there is pretty good when you play your Smallpox, sack your Flagstones, get a plains, and you're up a land on them. So yeah, looks, man, the Gravecrawler Bloodghast deck is, to me, just the worst thing you can think of when you're trying to go along with the Grixis control deck.
Oh, wait, for sure.
Yeah, this is...
It's just a bunch of cheap creatures that never die, and you're not white, so you don't have access to any exile removal.
Yep.
And to be fair, Gravecrawler does need another zombie to come back, and Bloodghast is a vampire spirit, not a zombie.
Yep.
However, I'm still pretty sure that if you're playing Gravecrawler in your deck, you have enough zombies that it'll be coming back again and again.
One can imagine.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, it's interesting how relevant stuff like that is, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, what was it? 8 years ago, 9 years ago, they decided to print Bloodghast as a vampire spirit instead of a zombie, and that's relevant here today, tonight, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I love how many things are in Magic. This is a great game.
Yeah.
Either way, in Soren's combat step, it looks like Cryptic Command's going to tap down his creatures, and
Not only is Magic conceptually a great game, the game that we're watching right now is a pretty great game. So we have 25 years of Magic history and cool stuff happening. And to celebrate that, Wizards released Master 25, and tomorrow this Master set, which has at least one card from every set in Magic, is going to be draftable right here at Paradise. Starting at 10 a.m., they're going to be firing 8-man drafts whenever they have enough people.
all day long.
All day long. So if you want to come on down, see some of these awesome cards from Magic's history, play with some of them, maybe even some of these cards that we're seeing in these modern decks right now.
Yep.
Come on down.
Should be good. So Steven, Soren's just getting back to Bloodghast, playing another Lingering Souls, and this is after a Damnation. So Steven cast Damnation, wiping Soren's board. On Soren's turn, he got a 2/1 haster and 2 1/1 flyers. He could just do this forever.
He got a 2/1 haster. He played a 2/1 haster. He played a land, got back a second Bloodghast. One of them got Fatal Push.
Yeah.
He attacked for 2 with the haste creature.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah. The end result is that he has a 2/1.
Stephen Boston effectively has to grind out his opponent's land drops. He has to get to the point where his opponent doesn't have enough more land drops to make. He can... I don't know if he's doing this. He's packing the Snapcaster here, because it was Snapcaster targets Kolaghan's Command, in response, path. What he could have done is he could have passed his own spirits to return his Bloodghast to play at instant speed. If he really wanted to do, that's a trick you can do with Path to Exile on Bloodghast.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah. Like end step, do that. And, they have haste. Yeah. No,
Not main phase.
Man. These two now being 2/1 hasters is very relevant.
Oh yeah, so he looks like he's going to be dealing 2 damage to a spirit and returning a Snapcaster from earlier in the game. And then
The classic.
he's going to be casting another Snapcaster and
Another
Kolaghan's Command.
Yep. Alright, so
K-Command,
Steven
back,
will be
Snapcaster back, K-Command, repeat ad nauseum. He's going to be able to block with the Snapcaster here, trade it for a Bloodghast, and then target with Kolaghan's Command and bring it back to his hand.
He ends up at 4, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Soren is still in the driver's seat here, I think. Excuse me. There's... Yeah, our players are having some fun table talk about...
Quoting ad nauseum, when Steven kept Snapcasting, or Kolaghan's commanding back Snapcasters until he died, he could no longer call it his life's work. Of course, referencing ad nauseum.
Yeah.
When the task spilled over into Undeath, he stopped calling it his life's work.
Yeah. Man, Soren here plays a Dark Confidant, and that's going to be enough for Steven to say, okay, fine, you have enough grindy threats, I'm not going to be able to grind through all of this. Let's go to game 2 where I at least have one Batterskull in my sideboard.
Yeah, he's going to put in Batterskull, he's going to put in Keranos to maybe grind through some of those cards.
Is it Staticaster? Oh, man. Staticaster's just perfect.
There's a Soren Solemn Visitor in Soren Wellman sideboard.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Boy, will I be disappointed if we leave this game without Soren casting Soren.
Yeah, so all the Planeswalker threats, all the Planeswalkers, Soren, Liliana, stuff like that, they're going to come in and they'll be good. Again, Soren just wants to grind as hard as he possibly can.
Another thing that can happen is Stephen Boston here can put in that Scarab God that we mentioned in the last game, be able to exile it, sort of double purpose. One, it grinds his opponent out by making a bunch of 4/4s. it also will exile things like Bloodghast from the graveyard
For
to stop
instance.
that
Yeah.
from coming back and making a 4/4 Bloodghast.
Exiling Bloodghast is huge because I mean, that game that we just watched without Bloodghast being in Soren's graveyard and coming back
Yeah.
every time is an entirely different thing.
I mean, but you have to think it's rough when your graveyard hate costs a total of 9 mana.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Another
So-
thing that's pretty good against all these Bloodghast and Souls, though, looking like he'll be the MVP of the match if Stephen Boston ever puts it on the table, is it Staticaster?
That's what I said a couple
Sucks
seconds
that
ago. Yeah.
whole thing down.
Yeah, Statcaster hits everything. Gravecrawler's a 2/1, right? Not
Yes.
2/2. Yeah. So it hits actually everything we saw,
Yep.
unless I'm forgetting.
Kills all
something.
those Lingering Souls, those Bloodghasts, and those Gravecrawlers pretty dang good.
Yeah, that seems great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, pretty sure those are the things that we'll see out of both of these players' sideboards.
Like you said, potentially Batter Skull, maybe Vendilion Click.
I think definitely the
Damnation.
Skull. Yeah.
Kalida's Trader of Get, another piece of graveyard hate to get rid of those.
True. That's
Get rid
true.
of those
Yeah,
Bloodghasts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Stephen Boston can be a lot better prepared for these grindy threats after sideboard.
Yeah, Kalidas is actually I don't know how I missed that the first pass through. It'll be exiling the Bloodghast and Gravecrawlers and all that, and making a bunch of zombies, and then being something big on the ground that Bloodghast can never swing through.
Yeah.
So wonder what zombies Soren has in his deck with Gravecrawler.
Yeah, because I'm just playing. He's a white-black deck. If he wanted a 2-1-for-1, he could play the recently reprinted Savannah Alliance, which is an upgrade to Bloodghast unless he has some other zombies. To be fair, you can play zombies with just other Gravecrawlers to bring them back, but it looks like that's not quite enough. Soren's also playing Tidal Schooler,
which is
a zombie. Yep.
Okay, sure. So he might be playing more, but at least 4 Gravecrawler for what's it called?
Tidal
Scholar. That's that'll get there.
Yep, definitely.
Probably 1 or 2 more. Gourmet Angler. That's a zombie fish. Yeah, he could be playing Mr. Gangles himself, and we will see whether or not that comes up in the next match in just a couple seconds. Our players are shuffling up to go into game 2. Looks like they're done sideboarding.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks everyone watching. By the way, just for a slight recap, we're on round 3 here at Paradise Games' Thursday night Modern tournament. My name is Adam, and
I'm Noble.
Yep.
And we're your casters.
Yep. We'll be coming in. We got Soren taking the first game here, and he's playing against Steven. Steven's hoping to take game 2 and go into game 3. And we will see how that goes in just a moment. Man, so do you still think he's on like smallpox? Probably.
I would guess he has the card Smallpox in his deck. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
I could see him not having it. Of course, he also could easily have it. So it's I guess it's pretty good when you're stacking up your Gravecrawlers and playing them back.
Yeah, or your Bloodghast or your Lingering and discarding a Lingering Souls token.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it seems alright. Smallpox, one of those magic cards. Well, it is a symmetrical effect. In practice, in the decks that play it, it's not quite symmetrical. You're getting to sack a Bloodghast or a Gravecaller, sack a Flagstones of Trocaire that we saw earlier, and discard things like Lingering Souls, where your opponent's sacking one of their real lands.
Yeah.
Losing real life.
Smuggler's Copter.
Okay.
Sweet. Yeah. You know what card's good against Steven's deck if you can't remove it?
Smuggler's Copter. That does a Fatal Push and Bolt. It's a little less of a threat than Bloodghast.
Still fine. Absolutely reasonable.
Yeah.
Gives his 2/1s and 1/1s haste in a way.
Yeah.
So what's Soren gonna drop on his turn 3 after Steven plays effect? Just Thought Scour and nothing else.
So we're not going to quite get a Soren yet. None of the Sorens are in fact 3 mana. Unfortunately.
Yeah, none of them are.
Yeah, there's 2 4-mana ones and a 6-mana one. And 2 6-mana ones actually.
Are there only 4 printings of Soren?
Yes.
Yeah. That I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious. I'm gonna look it up.
There are in fact only 4. There's the one from Cons, the one from Dark Ascension,
Yep.
the one from Shadows over Innistrad, and the one from Original Zendikar, which was the first appearance of Soren.
Yep. There's only 4.
And
There are
then-
2 other cards with Sorin in their name, though. Sorin's
Yeah.
Vengeance, Sorin's Thirst.
I was
Not
about
that
to
those
guess. You ruined it for me.
are. Oh, I'm sorry. Next time I'll give you the trivia question and.
Okay, so that happened. We have Bloodghast come down, Cruise Smuggler's Copter went to attack. Steve said, hold up, let me terminate that before you get your trigger.
Yep.
And then got to fetch his land and untap.
While these guys are shuffling up their fetch lands. and all that.
Grixis get their being changed from to Grixis mid-range.
Yeah.
Or more accurately, Grixis might get there if they can pick up 2 games.
Yeah, it's I'm definitely putting my money on Sorin here, whose deck has been changed to Black-White Graveyard.
Or Black-White Guy, depending on how you look at it.
You know, Black-White Guy, that's
Yeah.
yeah. Because these are Black-White Guys that he's
Okay,
playing.
Liliana the Last Hope is pretty good against Sorin's
That's
deck. When your deck's
brutal.
full of 1-drop creatures, a card that ticks up, kills a 1-drop every turn is very, very good.
Yeah. What do you think Sorin's got against this Lily? I mean,
He has a
most of
Smuggler's
his,
Copter in his hand, which is pretty good at dealing with it.
yeah, but that comes down and takes a turn to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Liliana seems really good.
Thoughtseize. Oh.
Oh man. Okay.
3 excellent cards in Steven's hand.
Snapcaster Mage, Is It Staticaster, and Keranos are what Sorin gets to pick between with his
Kind of gotta
Thoughtseize.
take Staticaster because it shuts off your deck, but you also kind of gotta take Keranos because
Eventually it'll shut off your deck.
Keranos, it just kills you very, very hard.
Yeah.
I have to say, as Sorin, I am tempted to just take this. Take the Staticaster and pray, but no, he has to take that Perforos or Keranos. He has to take the Keranos. I almost said Polychronos. This is a mess. These Theros names are getting me.
You should definitely put a Polychronos in this deck.
Yeah. The problem here is he's taking. Oh, so the problem here is he's taking a Keranos with a Liliana on the board who can tick down and return that whenever he wants.
Yeah.
Which was the problem with taking any of the 3 creatures in his hand. It wasn't really a choice there, but
Man.
this game is just unfortunately not looking close for our friend Sorin.
For Steven.
I
You
mean,
mean? I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah.
depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. This is really interesting. So Sorin's. I wonder if he's playing like what's called Bitter Blossom, stuff like that.
It's potential. Like, there's so many different ways you can go with this black-white deck. You could be a black-white tokens deck, which it's entirely possible that he still is. You can be black-white smallpox. You can just be black-white mid-range.
I think I see a Smallpox in there. That top
Taxes.
card. Okay.
Yeah. Not super great here, unfortunately.
Yep. So Sorin's going to go to animate the Smuggler's Copter and see whether or not it gets to swing. And Steven has a chance to go Snapcaster Mage, play a Terminate out of the yard.
Terminate out of the yard. Get that copter out of there.
Looks like he's going to do that.
Yeah.
Great. Interestingly, I didn't notice that on his turn 1, Steven thought Scourden got rid of a Batter Skull, which I don't think he has a single way in his deck to get back,
no.
right? Yeah. So, that's a shame for him, but Batter Skull would have been quite good.
Not looking like a problem.
Yeah, he'll be
This point of the
fine.
game. Yeah. I have a sinking suspicion that returning that Keranos and playing this Staticaster will get him there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Of course, if he gets the Keranos, then Bloodghast is able to kill Liliana and...
3rd Smuggler's Copter from Sorin. So it looks like he's like a Smuggler Copter graveyard value aggressive deck, which may or may not play small box. That's still kind of up in the air.
I swear I saw that as the first card in his hand.
Okay. Take your word for it. That was my gut feeling.
Sure. It's,
Let me do it anyway. So.
yeah. So, I don't think you tick down the... I mean, he ticked up the Lily. I don't think that getting back the Keranos is necessary here, and I think it opens up your Liliana to too much risk.
Yeah.
So,
So he's getting this back, creating a Smuggler's Copter.
yep.
Cool bit about this deck is when you're always bringing back creatures that have a billion spirit tokens, Smuggler's Copter really is just a 3/3 for 2.
Yep.
Flyer.
Discard... Is that Leyline of the Void? Great. Yeah, so Sorin's going to discard that Leyline of the Void to his Smuggler's Copter.
Interesting,
discard.
because Leyline of the Void is pretty dang good here.
It's fine.
I mean, it shuts off that Lily getting back all that stuff, but to be honest,
Yeah, but
the
Steven's-
stuff that it's getting back is already in the graveyard, so...
Doesn't he have 1 creature in the graveyard? And Lily's down to 3 counters? Yeah, I don't think Liliana's ticking down here. Well, Oh wow! Look at this. So Soren plays his own Liliana, but this one's Liliana of the Veil.
Yeah.
So Lily of the Veil, his +1 each player discards a card, -2 target player sacrifices a creature. There you go. And -6 you probably win the game. So, wow, the board's going back to pretty close to parity. It looks like Liliana's going to force Steven to sacrifice a creature.
Yeah, he's going to use this as a Staticaster to kill that Bloodghast. I mean, if he so feels, or not yet, because he isn't going to sacrifice it. Yep, ping the Bloodghast, untap.
Interesting. Okay. So now Steven doesn't really have pressure.
Yeah.
Soren,
If I'm Steven here, I definitely minus that Lily.
grab the Keranos, play it, just
yep.
have it. Yes, I agree with that. Looks like that's what he's going to do. Or grab the Snapcaster. Both are decent options, but I think it's the Keranos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them are 5-mana spells at this point because you want to be getting back from Kolaghan's command.
Because this way, he's either drawing 2 cards to get around Liliana's plus, or he's bolting the Liliana.
Yeah,
either
just
way,
kill
you're
it.
winning there.
Yep.
And the longer it doesn't look like Soren will have many ways to actually deal with it. Soren didn't crack his fetch land on end step.
Oh, so that he can use it to get back a Bloodghast in his graveyard.
Yeah, but it doesn't have haste.
Yeah, you just put it in the Smuggler's Copter.
Well, yes.
But he's not doing that now because he has a land drop for turn. Kind of attack with the Smuggler's Copter there.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. Also, playing it this way means that he doesn't crack it on end step. Staticaster kills it, and then he doesn't have a way to get back.
Drew, discarded a Concealed Courtyard. Plays a Dark Confidant.
That's what I thought was with Smallpox.
Which is going to get eaten by that is it Staticaster. Ooh. So Lily's going to take another Staticaster out of the hand. And then, if Steven doesn't get rip a... Oh, he hit a land, so he's drawing a second card. But that's exactly what Soren Weltman wants to see, because he's going to get to use that minus to kill that Staticaster.
No, he's not, because he drew a Snapcaster Mage.
Ooh.
Yep. Ooh.
Or just getting
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Snapcaster Mage could hit a Kolaghan's command, get back another Snapcaster Mage, and just grind out value. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, this game is really going back and forth in terms of who's putting pressure on their opponents, but Steven has a decent amount of infrastructure set up now. You know, he's got his Pinger, he's got his Keranos, he's got his carpet if he needs.
He's in a solid position to just take over this game.
Yeah.
He has the answer in the form of the Snapcaster, but another Liliana is pretty big here.
That is very big here.
Yeah, getting that Snapcaster out of here.
Soren discards a second Leyline of the Void.
Yeah.
Probably not as relevant right now, but
certainly.
I mean, it's still good.
What I might do here if I'm Soren, There's Steven. Yeah, I'm gonna Snapcaster back, push.
It looks like he's playing Snapcaster Mage, letting Liliana's thing resolve. And then target the Thoughtscour, the only castable card in his yard.
Yeah.
So he is able to end up with a card in hand and not having to sack any of his other creatures. Yeah. That's very good for him. And Staticaster pings down the Bloodghast, untap, and Jason Mind Sculptor.
Have a bolt, which will kill that. Oh,
Keranos.
I mean,
You so good.
I don't love that play.
You don't?
It was wrong.
Really?
Yeah, he drew a blue card off the it's a Search for Escanta.
No, it's a Jason Mind Sculptor. And a Search.
Yeah. His opponent's dead right now. If he bolts his opponent, makes Keranos a creature, attacks for 6. Oh, okay. I was factoring the Tar Pit, and he wouldn't get to do that.
Yeah, he can't
but
do all the
his Keranos is a creature. His Keranos is a creature if he plays both of his cards, and he will just get to attack for 6 damage. But unfortunately, he doesn't have time to do that.
He doesn't even need to. At that point, he's got Jason Mind Sculptor, an Staticaster, the Keranos.
Yeah.
His opponent doesn't have permanence.
Yeah, but come on, just let him turn that Keranos into a creature.
Yeah, turning the Keranos into a creature opens up a path, and you just don't need to do that. If Soren still has Path of Exile in his hand, which
I don't know if Soren has.
doesn't.
I don't know if Soren has it in his deck.
Yeah.
Like Fatal Push has kind of pretty summarily supplanted those paths in all the black decks that can play them.
Yeah, which is pretty interesting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be going into sideboarding between games, where both players have one game win, and they'll be playing it out for who wins the match.
Looks like I'm on a board in if I'm Soren. These Nihil Spellbombs, definitely. I don't know. I think I like Nihil Spellbomb a lot more than Leyline of the Void.
I like both, but yeah.
Yeah. Do you like all 5 pieces of Graveyard Hate against
Why
the
not?
control deck? Yeah.
I like 2 Leyline, 2 Nihil Spellbomb.
Yeah. I like those Fulminator mages. I like Lily. I like Soren.
Fulminator Mage? Yeah, it's fine, right?
It kills tar pits and
kills tar pit, yeah.
flipped as Kanta.
It's true. It's
Keeps
true.
the
It
opponent off
does.
lands, and you can bring it back with your own Liliana.
And the way Soren wins this game is by giving Steven just enough pressure with threats that are hard to kill.
Yeah.
So if you back up your pressure with some mana denial, then
Yeah.
that's probably pretty decent.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on board.
Especially in a smallpox deck, which we still don't know if he is. It's looking less and less likely as he hasn't seen one.
Yeah, it is. Although his deck seems perfect for smallpox.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, if not, we'll still hopefully look at the stream and maybe get a suggestion and play a smallpox. See how it works out.
I'm sure he's. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's been playing this deck for quite a while, and
Yeah.
he knows it.
He
inside
probably,
and
he
out.
probably knows that smallpox exists.
Oh yeah.
I would venture.
I can't imagine him not.
No.
Cool. Looks like everyone's shuffling back up, and we'll be back into it very soon.
Yeah, welcome back. Game 3, round 3 of Modern Hero Paradise Games.
Yep.
It is 1-1. This extremely grindy matchup: Grixis Midrange versus Black White Guy.
I think this is a really interesting matchup. I really like this one. Yeah.
It is, and Grixis just has haymakers that Black White can't deal with, so they need to be able to remove those haymakers in some way, and then just keep being down with those 2-1s.
Yeah.
We also haven't seen Soren really resolve any planeswalkers, which we know he has a couple of, which could also.
2 Lilies.
Okay, yeah, but those were glorified removal spells that died to Karanos and Creeping Tar Pits.
True, and they weren't named Soren.
Yeah,
so that's
they weren't
another.
Soren, and they also weren't Liliana the Last Hope, which would start ticking up and being able to threaten winning the game and recur some of those cards.
I think Liliana the Veil is probably better than Lily Last Hope in this matchup for Soren. Because it didn't hit anything. Right?
Sure,
And
but-
you're not using the minus really.
I mean, the minus gets to bring back, stuff like Fulminator Mage if you bring it in, and stuff like...
Stuff
I
like
guess you're
Bloodghast,
right.
stuff like
Yeah,
Gravecrawler.
I guess
Yeah.
you're right.
So
Dread Wanderer.
Dread Wanderer.
That's another recursive threat.
There's a
That
zombie.
Bloodghast. Yep,
Yeah.
that triggers Bloodghast.
No,
So look like he's
Gravecrawler.
Or yes.
Yeah, so Dread Wanderer is 2/1 for black, enters play tapped, and you can pay 3 mana.
Not sure return it from your graveyard to the battlefield, but activate that ability only if you have 1 or less cards in hand.
And as a sorcery.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like turn 1 Dread Wanderer, swing for 2, play Bloodghast on turn 2. That's pretty solid. Yeah.
This seems like not the kind of start this Grixis deck wants to see his opponent. 2 recursive
No.
2/1s, turns
No,
1 and 2 and
definitely
just
not.
start beating down. Definitely not
Yeah.
where you want to be.
I can imagine a turn 3 Liliana the Veil plus, and then it's
Oh,
just
God.
you're just out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this seems like exactly where Soren wants to be on the first couple
Especially
turns.
because, his opponent Steven needs spot removal to survive, but it's not even that good. And he's a little mana short. He has some haymakers in his hand though. He has Anger of the Gods, Liliana the Last Hope, and is it Staticaster? So
Wow.
3 excellent way to answer these small creatures.
Excellent cards.
About to get
there.
hit by a Thoughtseize though. Oh no, he doesn't have anger. He doesn't have anger. He has bolt. Ooh, he's
Interesting.
not. Oh, he doesn't have the cards. So Logic Knot would normally protect his hand in this scenario, but he would only have 2 mana plus 2 cards to exile.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Soren could pay for that Thoughtseize.
He definitely can.
When you can turn your Thoughtseize into a 2-for-1 for 2 mana, I'm pretty sure you can take it.
Yeah.
So I would guess that he just rips out that Staticaster. Staticaster seems like such a problem for his deck.
It really does. It depends on what he has in his hand. Because Soren has a way to answer the Staticaster, then maybe we're talking. But
It's hard because if Staticaster is that much of a problem, right? So
yeah, no, I mean
his
yes,
opponent
he's
can
taking
just-
Staticaster.
but his opponent can just play the Lily and get it back
It's true.
and eat up a couple points of damage, which isn't necessarily great. But
Not necessarily
Staticaster
the
here,
worst.
I'm guessing, is what he took because of its ability to kill both those Bloodghasts. So now if he plays the Lily will die to the other 2/2/1s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liliana Last Hope is very close to good enough on this board, and yet you can't play it and survive.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, yeah. So Soren's able to hit Steven down to 13.
In fact, if I had Lily the Last Hope here, I would be tempted to just play Lily minus to get back Staticaster, soak up points with a thing, and then be able to play it because it both blocks and pings down both those Bloodghast.
Yeah, Steven does have a lightning bolt in hand though.
Yeah.
So if he wanted to, he could fetch and shock, get a blood crypt, use the blood crypt for red, kill the Dread Wanderer,
Yep.
and then for the lightning bolt.
Yeah, but then you're at 11, and then you have you're 1 point damage away from having this Bloodghast be hasting out of the graveyard coming at you every turn.
Yeah, that would put him to 10 actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
He had to fetch.
Which gives the Bloodghasts haste. I mean, they're getting haste next turn anyway,
Yeah.
so I don't know. That might have been. We don't know. It could have been better. Yeah, Staticaster here seems like, oh my gosh, that'd be so good for Steven to have a Staticaster, but he doesn't. So
He's
that's
just gonna bolt
that.
this Dread Wanderer.
Yep, going to 8, and now the
Yeah.
Bloodghasts have haste. So even if he's able to deal with these Bloodghasts,
Unless it's exactly Anger of the Gods. And Blackleaf Cliffs, right?
No,
that's
it's
a Bloodstained
Bloodstained
Mire.
Mire.
Yeah, with the on it. Yeah. Yeah.
Soren's got his borderless altered Bloodstained Mire
Yeah.
because he's a boss. Because why would that be anything else?
Yeah.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Steven just draws a card, plays an island, passes the turn.
He has what he calls a Christmas Soren Solemn Visitor.
Yeah, an altar.
Which okay, an altered. I'll have to ask him to see that. That sounds phenomenal.
Yeah. So it looks like
Snap Bolt to kill one of the Bloodghasts, block the other Bloodghast is how Steven's going to try to deal with these guys. But Soren still just has a Bloodstained Mire in play. You
Yeah.
can crack it.
Won't
get
crack
a
it this
land.
turn. Yeah.
Not this turn, yeah, but next turn they'll have haste.
And then there's that Fulminator Mage I was talking about in I think I saw it in Soren's hand that he'll probably play this turn and start to go after those blue-black sources.
That seems quite good. Quite good indeed.
Yep.
Not that he necessarily even needs to.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably, yeah. Depending on what else he has in his hand, I didn't see much left in his, much else in his
The thing
hand.
about taking out the black sources, then you know you're putting cast Lily on it, and it also takes them further from Cryptic Command. 2 cards that you know are in his hand.
Yeah, but Lilion doesn't really matter here. If
I
you
mean-
play Liliana, it can't survive.
Yeah. Okay.
See, I like
He's gonna play
this
Liliana.
because this doesn't just put Steven behind. This
Yeah.
also puts Soren ahead.
Yeah.
So Liliana plus. Remember that Dread Wanderer only is able to come back if Soren has 1 or less cards in his
Yes,
hand.
that's true.
And Lilion the Veil is going to turn that on.
Yeah.
So now Steven has to make some more hard choices, discarding the Logic Knot, it looks like.
And
Fulminator.
Soren's going to discard that Fulminator Mage over a land in his hand just because he values being able to bring those Bloodghast back as often as possible.
I just don't think you need Fulminator Mage here.
No, that seems right.
Yeah.
So we could
Huh.
see some interesting plays here. So he's gonna play this Tasker, which will serve as a blocker. But
Yeah. So
that Lily can just minus to get that out of the way. I don't know how Soren's gonna deal with that. Maybe he has a snap in hand. Doesn't look like it.
he's got Cryptic Command and Liliana the Last Hope.
Yeah.
So Steven does have a pretty interesting line he can do here. When Liliana of the Veil ticks up, if Soren doesn't have any cards in hand, there's a chance that Steven will be able to bounce that Liliana of the Veil with his Cryptic Command,
And
making
make
it so that when Soren, when Soren's trigger resolves, he then has to
Yes.
discard the Liliana of the Veil, which would be a very clean way to answer that card right
Yeah,
here.
But looks like he's gonna take down and get rid of that Tasker.
Yeah.
He's gonna play another fetch land, which
Get back to
represents.
Bloodghast.
Right now, he has just 4 Bloodghast sitting on the board in the form of those fetch lands that they can get translated into lands that trigger their landfall ability and bring them back.
And here's
And
Lingering
then a
Souls.
Lingering Souls? Oh, that's
Oh, man.
brutal.
Okay, so if Steven had Anger of the Gods here, then he's
Then he's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Staticaster is
Staticaster.
great. Okay, so Staticast. Wow, there. So Staticaster can be played after Soren attacks, block. Let's see, can block a Bloodghast and kill the tokens, or it can. Yeah, it has to do that.
What it has to do? No, it doesn't. It could kill the Bloodghast and he'll only take 2.
Yeah, but
He's
then,
taking 2 no
then he
matter
has to deal with the same choice, next turn.
what. Yeah, so he'll kill the tokens.
He's taking 2 no matter what. But then Liliana just minuses anyway,
Yeah.
and
I mean, I don't even think I plus the minus the Liliana here. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I do. This,
I think you definitely do.
well,
There he goes.
yeah. Yeah, you gotta get rid of the Staticaster. I was thinking about getting cute, flashing back souls, and putting that on board. But then your opponent will have the better of his 2 cards in hand, which is and then a Dark Confidant.
Okay.
That seems like the nail in the coffin, unless there's some kind of board sweeper here.
Well, Cryptic Caps can tap all the Sorin's creatures. That's a
Okay.
turn.
That's a turn.
Yeah.
And if he has a land, he can get back that Staticaster, but
Mhm.
that doesn't seem like it's gonna be good enough.
Yeah. So, man, there's
Yeah. So looking like
man.
Steven's Austin one out here would be Sorin flipping over Draco, dealing himself 20 damage and losing him the game.
No, Draco only cost 16.
Only cost 16?
Yeah.
That was 20.
No, it's 16.
Okay, he has no outs.
Yeah. Well, no. His out is Sorin flips up an Emrakul the Aeon's Torn, and then he Cryptic Commands to tap all your
Yeah.
turns, and the next turn flips up a something.
2-drop, yeah.
2-drop.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, no, though, this Cryptic Man buys him a turn, but it's not looking good. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, really.
All his creatures are tapped, but he's a creature that draws him a card every turn. 2 creatures that come back from the graveyard.
And Dark Confidence just
Yeah.
keeping churning.
He has no way to. Maybe if he had a 1-mana removal spell for the Confidant here, I would believe that bringing Staticaster, bringing back the. Ooh! Yes! Sorin casts his Christmas Sorin.
Get there. That's
Which
beautiful.
has 2 abilities. One of that are relevant right now. One of his +1, which gives all his dudes +1/+1 lifelink until his next turn, or -2 to put a 2/2 vampire on the battlefield. That's what he opts for.
With flying.
With flying. That's what he
Man.
opts for, and that's what's going to give him the best chance to just kill his opponent.
Yeah.
And
Steven doesn't have anything.
looks
that
like there's
deals with
nothing
it.
Steven can do.
Yeah.
I'm very satisfied that we got a Sorin on the last turn of the game from Sorin
To win the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, that's great. Awesome. So yeah, his there's the Christmas Sorin you can see on the
being
camera.
being held up. There's
Thank you,
he's
Brad.
in
That is
the-
that's actually a very classy altar.
Yeah,
You know, it's not overly.
He's just in his fur coat in the snowy woods. I like it.
I like it a lot. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
All right.
Awesome.
Once again, we're at Paradise Games for the weekly Modern Thursday night Modern tournament.
Yeah.
And we're your casters, Noble and
Adam.
we'll be right back with the next round.
We'll be figuring
about
out
10
something
minutes,
sweet for you. Since we've already seen on camera most of the people who are going to be, the 3-0 people, 2-1 people, I think we're gonna try to get one of the sweet matchups. I think there's a cat combo type of thing somewhere. So let's see if we can find one of those to be put on. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll look for something sweet for you. Either way, we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Stay tuned.
Maybe I have some stuff I should do.
Sure.
There's
Just enough stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure. If I know my first and last class canceled, the one in the middle might be around. I'm not sure. We'll see. I don't really care. I guess I'll show up and then just do homework in there.
Sure.
We're gonna get food again on the way. We're gonna figure out food or something on the way.
We can do whatever.
Crispy $10.
So last match just ended, so pairing should be up pretty soon.
Yeah. Great. Just
The cat guy is.
He said they said that this is his first time playing the deck, so yeah. Wait, which one? Who?
You got this. That's easy. Okay, because they said Uncle F, and I was like, holy shit. No, that's Mark. Okay, I guess that was true because Mighty Mark was in that family.
That doesn't work. Yeah, no, that wouldn't work at all.
But that's effectively what she did. She invited Victoria's Marquis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're ready to go. Yep. Is that your second root beer? How is it?
No, it's water. Hey, how's it going, everyone? we're back with round 4 here at Paradise Games for our Thursday Night Modern. My name's Adam.
And I'm Noble.
And yeah, we're going to jump right in here. So we saw, last round we saw some Black-White versus Grixis action. And this time I think we're going to see something entirely different. To start off with, we have Saz versus Sam, right?
Yep.
And Sam is on 4-color Saheeli.
Oh, this deck is sweet.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a mix between the old Birthing Pod decks and the old Splinter Twin decks. 2 decks banned in Modern, which you know is going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, seriously. And Saz is, like we saw in round 1, on 5-color Pyromancer.
Yeah.
It's just the Mardu Pyromancer deck plus Bloodbraid Elf for the most part.
So 4-color Saheeli, I mentioned
Back
it
to
as
the
a mix
important
for 2 reasons. One, Eldritch Evolution and Court of Calling make it a kind of a green creature toolbox deck that searches up a combo finish. And Saheeli Ride Felidar Guardian is pretty reminiscent of Splinter Twin. 3-drop into 4-drop, infinite, 1 force, which that combo is actually interrupted by Bolt, because while it can't kill the 1/4, it can kill the can be redirected to the Saheeli.
Yeah.
And take that out of play. It's a little easier to interact with.
Wonder which version he's playing. I really hope it's the Birds of Paradise Oath of Nissa 2 Jason the Mind Sculptor version.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, with your cat combo in there. So yeah, we'll see in just a second. It looks like they have the same sleeves, or at least very similar sleeves.
Oh, this isn't confusing. Pretty
Not
sure
at
it's
all. Alright, so we have Saheeli Ray, Bloodbraid Elf, Noble Hierarch, Voice of Resurgence.
Jason.
Yeah, this is the one.
Yes,
this
that
is
is
the
a
version
keepable
of the
winner.
deck that I really want to build and play.
That is a very good deck.
I'm excited to see this. And it looks
Can't
like
cast that turn to Saheeli, which is a real shame. But it
you don't
does.
want to cast turn Saheeli.
I mean, then copy some dudes and get in there.
Bolt. That's not how that works. That's not even good. Okay.
You just start scrying.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Saheeli Ray.
Hey, the more time you hit them with the plus ability, the easier it is for your infinite cast to kill them. The less time you have to click through the whole thing on Moto.
Yeah, really, that's the important part. Yeah, Saheeli Ray on her own is not the most impressive Planeswalker of all time. Not even
far from
not
it,
even
yeah.
close. But yeah,
Side note, you know what's sick and standard?
what?
Play to Registrar Alpha, copy it with Saheeli, have 7 power or 14 power haste of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
If you have a anointed
Keyword
procession
dinosaurs.
out, if you have anointed procession
no.
out, you make a pair of 4/4s that each make a pair of 3/3s. So you have 6 3/3s and 3 4/4s. That's awesome. That's a curve. 3, 4,
Wow.
5.
Now I want to do that in Modern.
It is in fact 4 colors, but we don't need to talk about that part.
Yeah, we'll be fine. It'll be okay. You'll get there. You got there some number of games, and that's all you.
Doubling Season does the same thing in Modern.
Yeah.
Saheeli Rai Ultimate. Oof. Okay.
Either way, it looks like Saz is going to be on the play, and he's going to start off with a turn 1 Inquisition of Kozilek.
Yep.
Which means the jig is up. He knows exactly what his opponent's on now.
Surprise factor over.
Yeah.
Pretty sure what you take here is the Noble Hierarch put your opponent a turn behind.
Unless he has a bolt in hand. Because then he'd be able to take a relevant combo piece and bolt the turn 1 Hierarch.
Take like the Saheeli.
Yeah.
But it's looking like he's just taking that Saheeli.
No, the Noble Hierarch.
Noble Hierarch, and then making it so that in the future his opponent's not going to be able to have a turn 1 play, and we'll just have to go Voice of Resurgence, and then at this point no 3-drop.
Yeah, no, I definitely like taking the Hierarch there.
Especially because they have only 2 lands and have 2 4-drops and a 3-drop in their hand.
Yeah. Alright, so Saz has the potential to just take over the game with a couple removal spells and some hand disruption.
Yeah.
Voice of Resurgence does a good job to counter that, though, which is nice for Sam. We will see what Saz goes for here. It looks like he's fetch shocking a second time, getting a Stomping Ground untapped.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing he's playing Pyromancer on this turn.
Interesting enough, if you're Sam right here, you are pretty certain that your opponent is on Jund with the 3 red, green,
Yeah.
black, red, and black, green lands, and then he plays this Pyromancer, and you're like, wait a second.
Yeah, really. It looks like Sam has played Mardu Pyromancer in Modern before.
So he kind of he'll probably know the deck, be interested about that.
Yeah. After
Proper
seeing
interaction.
the young Pyromancer, he knows. You don't think Jund ever plays Pyromancer, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Dark Confidant and Tarmogoyf are too much better.
Yeah, that's fair. You just want to be playing the big creatures. You don't want to be playing instant sorceries to
Yeah, you
field
don't want to.
tokens. So, Mardu Pyromancer wants to play I think a similar reason to why Jund doesn't play Pyromancer is a similar reason to why Pyromancer doesn't play Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, they're kind of different cards, and the Pyromancer wants you to play a bunch of spells, generate a bunch of tokens, generate value that way, play things like Bedroom Riffler.
Yeah.
While Tarmogoyf wants you to it to be one of your couple threats. You land it, you start attacking, you want to play a lot of different card types, whereas Young Pyromancer wants you to just play instants and sorceries.
Yeah. So you got an interesting distinction there between the two decks, even though, I mean, from a top-down view, Pyromancer and Jund are very similar decks.
Yeah, hand disruption, removal spells, Kolaghan's Command.
Exactly, and play a threat that'll win the game. But in the end, they end up playing out very
That's
differently,
pretty good.
which is really interesting. So it looks like Sam is going to play an Eternal Witness. That
We missed a thing there where after the Pyromancer, a Voice of Resurgence was played, it got Fatal Push, generating a token. That's the token you see there, that Yu-Gi-Oh card. And then you're going to play an Eternal Witness to get back that...
Voice of Resurgence, because the Voice of Resurgence is very important for this grindy, attrition-based game that it looks like Saz is going to try to force on Sam. So, yeah, Eternal Witness and Voice token. Next turn, play another Voice. It looks like Sam also had an Oath of Nissa in hand, I think, which we pulled up on the screen a second ago. Maybe. At the very least, he has it in his deck, and if he does, he'll be able to play both it and a Voice of Resurgence.
Or
next
Saheeli
turn.
if he finds a land.
He doesn't want to play Saheeli. He wants to hold up...
You can use its minus to be an Eternal Witness trigger. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I feel like it's in the deck to combo. Not like you're not playing Saheeli Ray because it's a good planeswalker you want to play and
Hey, it also,
get value
it also
out
does
of.
good, cool things with Voice, Eternal Witness, and other stuff.
It's fine. Does Saheeli Ray exile a token or sacrifice
I think it
it?
sacrifices it.
Yeah? Okay, maybe. I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Exile it.
Exile, yeah, so he can't like make a copy of Voice and then
Just get a token. Yeah,
Get a token.
That would have been.
that would be sweet. Yeah.
Okay.
Gains haste, exile at the beginning of the accent step. I mean, if you can find a
So,
sack outlet.
his opponent plays Kolaghan's Command, making him discard a card and killing that Eternal Witness.
Yeah.
He chooses to discard Voice, which I'm not sure how I feel about. I don't know. He has 2 4-drops and a Saheeli in his hand. I would probably ditch the Saheeli there. Sure, comboing is good.
I think
but-
Combo Authority wins this game. He doesn't have red.
His Jason
Well, red
Bloodbraid.
rays.
Yeah.
So okay.
I would
That-
pick.
that's
I would
fair.
probably put Bloodbraid because I can't cast it. But he drew the red land. So what am I to say? Who am I
Did he
to
draw
say?
a red land?
Yeah, he drew Wooded Foothills.
Oh, okay.
I think the play here is definitely Wooded Foothills, Bloodbraid Elf, stabilize this board, maybe hit something good.
Yeah, okay. I'm in on that. He could also go
Oath of
Oath of
Nissa.
Nissa,
Yeah,
find a
it's
3-drop,
easy.
play a 3-drop. So, Noble Hierarch, Oath of Nissa, land.
Yeah, so I would take the Noble Hierarch, play the Noble Hierarch, play the
land.
Wooded Foothills. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Basically set himself up to be able to play Jace and or Bloodbraid Elf next turn.
He's gonna take the land
Definitely not
here.
land. Am I saying? Okay. I mean, I'm sure he has a game plan that he's going for, and we will see what that is soon enough.
It looks like he's just playing the Saheeli here.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, definitely.
I just, in my experience playing with Saheeli Ray, you never really want to play it just as a value card because it turns out it doesn't generate that much value.
Yep, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll
We'll do
3
it'll
mana, scry 1,
Die.
die.
His
Great.
opponent does only have a pair of 1/1s and a 2/1.
Yeah, but you only have a 1/1.
You block the 2/1, Saheeli Ride takes 2 damage and a 2. But that's not enough loyalty to combo, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's.
Actually, it is. Anything's enough loyalty to combo because he gets blanked by the Feldar.
Yeah, it plays some
Guardian.
Guardian, blinks the thing. Okay.
It does for. I mean, it forces Saz to respect the combo, which isn't nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Because next turn he just Felder Guardian, I win. Which means Saz probably needs to keep up, if he has it, like a fetch land and a
Fatal Push.
or something.
Instead,
like
he's
that.
going to just go all out, play this Bloodbraid Elf, well, because that gives him enough power to attack the Saheeli Ride to kill it.
How's this?
Ooh, Kolaghan's Command. Wow. If I'm Saz, I'm killing that token.
Yep.
I'm
Discard, right?
making him discard. I'm attacking that Sealy Ray for 4 damage, and I'm attacking him for.
Wow. That's
That's
rough.
freaking brutal.
Okay. Yeah, so Bloodbraid Elf for 3.
Are you at all incentivized to go for the face here? Just attack your opponent for 7 damage, put him to dead next turn.
No. Put him
And
in
pray they
9
don't
is
have
fine.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
6, 7.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because this 4-color Pyromancer deck, this isn't an aggro deck. This isn't, the goal here isn't to win. Also, you don't want to do that and then just lose to a combo.
Yeah.
There's just no reason to open yourself up to that.
Yeah. So you cast Bloodbraid Elf, finds a Bird of Paradise.
You know what's a little bit worse than Colligan's Command?
Bird of
Birds
Paradise.
of Paradise.
Yeah.
Better than seeing Eldritch Evolution on an empty board, though.
That's very true.
And yeah, this is looking like Saz is.
Saz is gonna take this one, yeah.
I mean, you never know. Saz might not swing, or he might swing with like Bloodbraid and a couple 1/1s.
Yeah.
Sam can trade off the Bloodbraids. Next turn, draw Bloodbraid, play a Bloodbraid.
Or
okay, well,
he's just gonna play another Bloodblade.
Bloodbraid,
Dread Warrior Bloodbraid.
Bloodbraid,
Attack with
Bloodbraid.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Saz says, "I was hoping you would play Jason bounce my Bloodbraid."
Yeah, that
That's
seems
probably
less than ideal. Same
11
same
Sam.
effect here with one more Bloodbraid in play for Saz. So
Sam wasn't
Gonna get
technically dead there. He can block a 3 damage with the birds and go to 1, but he's dead there.
yeah, exactly. He doesn't have combo available to him. He just doesn't have the mana or
Yeah.
the combo pieces.
All right, so it looks like we're going to be going to sideboarding here after Saz was able to pick apart his game plan. Yeah. So I really like Saz against a combo deck because his deck is built around attrition and picking apart your hand, which
Yeah.
are just two things that combo does not do well against. So either way, we're going into our sideboarding here. It looks like Sam's has some sweet cards in his board. One of them is Fiery Justice. That has 3 of.
So what cards do you like here?
You know what Fiery Justice does? Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
Oh yeah, Fiery
It's a
Justice is
sorcery
sweet.
for red, green, white.
Yep.
Deals 5 damage to fighters you choose among any number of target creatures and/or players. And your opponent gains 5 life.
Yep. You know what's really good against Death Shadow?
Fire Justice.
5-year 10/10 Death Shadow, and then they gain 5, making their Death Shadow a 5/5, and it dies to damage.
Sure.
Oh, so good.
Sure.
5-year Gangler, your Gurmag Gangler, put you to 14, kill your Death Shadow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's so
also
sweet there.
good. Okay.
Either way, not in this matchup. So let's see. I think Huntmaster of the Fells is good here. I think Scavenging Ooze is probably good here.
Yeah.
Planalendra is not ideal. Dire Fleet Daredevil actually.
Yeah.
It seems really good.
Flashback pushes to kill your opponent's
Yeah.
dude.
It you need to pay. You can pay any color mana for it, right? So
Yes.
Yeah, so Dire Fleet Daredevil is a 1 in a red, 2/1 first strike from Rivals of Ixalan. It says when it comes into play, exile target instant or sorcery card from your opponent's graveyard. You may play that card, or you may cast that card this turn. You got to pay the right. You can spend mana as though we're of any type,
Right. Of any color.
of any color. Sorry,
There's a difference between type and
There
color.
is a difference between type and color. Either way, basically you get to Snapcaster an instant or sorcery out of your opponent's yard, which is very good when Saz is playing a bunch of call against commands and thought seizes and fatal pushes and stuff.
yes,
So I really like Dire Fleet Daredevil here.
So what do you like out of Saws? I like those engineered explosives. They help clean up boards.
Yeah,
but-
put it on 0 and then cats can never win because they have all the tokens have a CMC of 0,
Well, I mean,
right? Or
you just force them to do it once, and then you give them the next turn.
actually, it looks like I'm wrong. CMC is a copyable attribute, and so all these tokens have a CMC of 4. Okay. Explosives on 4 is actually, I mean, that's also very possible for Saz to do, so never mind. Yeah,
I
mean,
could have sworn explosives on 0 killed Splinter Twin tokens. That's weird. Okay.
either way, engineered explosives seems good enough anyway.
Yeah. Killing all those creatures.
Let's see, we got Anger of the Gods. Anger of the Gods seems very good. Let's see. Lily of the Veil, probably? Right?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Lily, it attacks your opponent's board state
And
and
hand.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah. Although, it's not ideal when you're making them sack their Voice of Resurgence or Birds of
Sure.
Paradise
That's
on
where
the board.
stuff like Anger of the Gods comes in.
It's true. It's definitely true.
Yeah.
Either way, I think Anger of the Gods is the best card that Saz can put in here.
And like we said, Saws is very well set up for this matchup already, so
Yeah.
it shouldn't be too big of a deal.
Either way, Sam definitely has the potential to just combo out very quickly, or just play a very good zoo game plan, basically, with your Voice of Resurgence into, turn 2 Voice of Resurgence, turn 3 Bloodbraid off a Noble Hierarch, start killing it.
He also has Renegade Rallier, which he has in his hand right now.
Ooh, Renegade
Which is
Rally is an amazing card.
Excellent way to be able to recoup some value.
Yeah.
Especially when it's bringing back Voices of Resurgence that have died to natural causes that have tokens on.
Yeah, you should bring up Renegade Rallier. It's in Sam's hand. It's a 3/2, right? For 3 mana. That says Revolt, bring back a permanent with CMC 2 or less from your yard.
Something interesting is Revolt is triggered when you blink it with like a Felidar Guardian, so it's a great blink target because it just brings back something from the graveyard.
Yep, like a fetch land, for instance, and it also the Revolt is also turned on by fetch lands, so you can go turn 1 Noble Hierarch, turn 2 crack a fetch, play Renegade Rallier, get back the
Exactly.
the fetch land, which is actually what I think we're going to be seeing here, which is awesome, Renegade Rallier is a great way to get ahead. Either way, it looks like Sam went turn 1 Noble Hierarch, and we'll be playing a turn 2 Flooded Strand, Crackit, Renegade Rallier, probably.
I don't know. I might
Or
play
not.
Voice here.
Yeah?
He has
I mean, Voice is good
he
too.
has Oath and Voice. So I think it's worth it to play both of those, get an attacker on board, and then if the Voice dies, you can bring him back with the Rallier.
Okay, that's entirely
Because he
fair.
doesn't really need the land.
Yeah. Looks like he paid 2 life for the Temple Garden, played an Oath of Nissa.
Looks like he's getting a Voice because he saw 2 Voices in a land.
Yep. Gets a Voice,
My
plays the
mind is
Voice.
still. I was so naive. All those times we played a Pernicious Deed in Cube and
Yeah.
left it up like we can't die to Splinter Twin. It
Guess
looks
we-
like we were wrong.
Guess we could definitely die to
Looks like
Splinter
we were
Twin.
wrong. I can't wait to
now
do
we
that
know.
tonight and have Can't die to Splinter Twin and be like, actually,
Yeah,
I just
because
learned this rule.
Legacy Cube is up on Magic Online for one more night.
Woo woo!
Yeah.
Okay, back
Either
to this
way.
game of Modern. Looks like Saz has no permanents in play, but that's just because he cracked his turn 1 fetch land. Putting land into play.
Yeah.
Green, insinuating probably has Bloodblade.
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 Bloodbraid Elf in hand. Yeah. Or he might not. He could just have a bunch of mountains and swamps and stuff and wants to get his
That's entirely
his
possible.
green mana when he can.
So if you don't have a turn 1 play as Pyromancer, what do you think his turn 2 is? Does he have a removal spell? Does this mean he has a Pyromancer?
Depends on what he's keeping. I mean, probably just Pyromancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pyromancer.
I mean, it seems like he cast most of his hand disruption and removal spells turn 1 there anyway, even though it meant not getting a trigger off the Pyromancer. He probably just didn't have a 1-drop. He's going to probably play something like Lingering Souls next turn.
Right.
Not the most impressive start from Saz, but not horrible either.
Fine. Yeah. A 2-drop into a 3-drop, make a bunch of tokens.
Yeah.
It's acceptable for the most part. I mean, I don't think that Sam over here has either of the combo pieces in his hand.
He has Felidar Guardian.
Does it? Oh, it's just at the back? Okay. Yeah, so Guardian's... Okay, so now he just needs to draw Saheeli, and then he's kind of got it.
Yeah.
Looks like Voice Resurgence. No swing with the Noble Hierarch.
No, he attacked with just the Voice of Resurgence that he
Attack
attacked
with
last
Voice
turn.
Resurgence. Yeah, no, that's tapped for
Don't
that
attack
reason.
with the 0/1. I
no.
think that plays right.
Yeah, no, you're right. I just, for some reason, didn't see him attack with the Voice Resurgence.
Yep.
Never mind. Don't mind me. Yeah. There is definitely the line there of swing with a Nova Hierarch, because why would Saz block the 0/1? You gotta have something, right? You're
Yeah.
not swinging otherwise.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Represent mutagenic growth.
The reason that line is terrible is that it doesn't give you an exalted trigger.
Yeah, no, it's just awful in every way. So we're back to Saz over here. He's got a fetch land, and it looks like he's going to be maybe cracking it. He'll decide in a moment whether or not he's cracking it.
Yeah. Curious to see what's in Saz's hands. This keep has not looked particularly impressive so far.
Yeah.
I feel like fire off a couple lootings and maybe a push. I don't know.
I feel like what you want, if you're Saz in this matchup, is a bunch of hand disruption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hand disruption or even removal spells for these early dorks, neither of which he's had yet.
Lightning bolt's fine, but
Yeah,
it's a bit
he pulled
late.
The dork, but it's already produced 2 mana and an exalted trigger, so
Yeah.
it's really not great
You
here.
know, you got your money's worth there.
Yeah, definitely.
So what is that? A swamp? Yeah, it's a very pretty swamp. So Saz goes lightning bolt, cracks his fetch. Yeah, that's the APAC swamp.
Yeah.
And then plays engineered explosives for X equals 2.
Which looks like it'll kill both his voices. It's not super great for him though, because it kills his own Pyromancer and leaves his opponent with a pair of 2/2 tokens.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, certainly far from the best that card is against his deck. So, looking through his deck, it looks like he has a bit of a toolbox. He has a pair of Reflector Mages. He has some Scavenging Uses. All of those would be very good here.
Yeah. Huh.
And at least one Fiery Justice in his deck, so he did side that in.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. I like Fiery Justice here.
Kills a bunch of tokens.
And a Pyromancer, yeah.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter. Hey,
Oh,
there's
there's-
Fiery Justice.
There's the Fiery Justice.
So how do you like 1, 1, 3? I guess you can't hit 3 at the face. So
You can.
You can?
Yeah, it'll just gain him 5.
It'll just gain him 5, so,
gain,
yeah.
gain 3 less. I don't love it here because Saz is cracking that engineered explosives, so your Pyromancer's dying anyway. So it's not really
Yeah,
a
that's
big
fair.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. So he blocked the 1/1 on the blocking the 1/1 on the 2/2, which means either that he's going to be casting something like Anger the God Sun Sweeper, or just he doesn't want to take damage and doesn't think the 1/1's going to matter all that
He
much.
doesn't currently have red for the anger. I mean, he's got a Bloodstained Mirror in hand, so he's fine. But, yeah, I do like that Sam passed here without playing a thing because it represents Restoration Angel or something like that. Which,
Especially leaving up that fetch land means if he gets explosives, then he'll get to Renegade Rally or back a dude. He'll have a pair of 4/4 voices.
Yeah.
Be a great place to win this game.
For what it's worth, though, 2 2/2s is not gonna get there.
Yeah, but then you play 2 creatures and they're 2 4/4s and it's just over.
Eventually. Well, what I'm saying is, if
Sam's plan is just swing with my voices, do nothing else, and Saw's just like, okay,
the
sure.
2 voices, not the tokens.
Yeah.
I see
If
what you
Saw's just lets it be there, then
Yeah.
I don't think Sam's
Yeah, right
favored.
now he's just gonna play Lingering Souls.
get a bunch
Make
of
a
tokens.
bunch of tokens.
He doesn't need to wipe the board.
Yes.
Yeah, see, they're the sweet Lingering Souls tokens that Saw's didn't have round 1, but
I mean, if I was Saul, I would be attacking the Pyromancer there. I don't think you're blocking.
yeah, I agree.
I mean,
Either
maybe
way.
you're blocking, but that doesn't make much sense to me.
I mean, you can. Yeah, no, you really don't want to block here.
Because he doesn't want to get blown out by a Restoration Angel. I don't actually love Sam cracking the fetch here.
Saz apparently says in the other room that he's making misplays left and right. Which,
Insinuating that he should have attacked with the Pyramid threat, I'm guessing.
pretty sure he should.
And then I don't love cracking the fetch line here. Like we said, he has that Renegade Rallier in his hand.
Yeah, he wants to be able to turn on
Revolt whenever he wants.
whenever he can. Yeah, and it doesn't look like life is going to be the deciding factor here.
Yeah. He has a blood. Oh no, that's a Fiery Justice. Never mind. Less exciting.
Yeah.
I would.
So yeah, Fiery Justice, Renegade Rallier, Felder Guardian
Oh, yeah.
Forest. Yeah.
So a little bit. Saz says, "Oh, the problem with blowing up explosives is it kills my Pyromancer," and Sam says, "I didn't realize," and like Saz says, "I didn't either." So looks like that explosive might not be being cracked particularly soon.
Well, he doesn't have the mana to right here.
Yeah.
There
So
we
he's
go.
blocking. Okay.
so he is blocking with the Pyromancer.
And the token. He's pretty aggressively protecting his life total.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He could have traded another token there for another.
Yeah, he could have traded a thing for a voice, or just not chump last turn, taken 2 extra damage, and then traded the tokens for the voices now.
Either way,
Yeah.
Revolt is turned on, Renegade Rallier gets back a voice
Yeah,
resurgence, and
right.
now it looks.
Pretty dire, because if he cracks that engineered explosives, Sam gets 2 tokens that are 4/4s. He has 3 4/4s and a 3/2 facing off a pair of 1/1 spirits.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem great.
I mean, he can on Sam's combat step crack it, and then the tokens can't swing
Sure.
because they're new. But like then you're still
You're
facing
still
down
getting
a bunch
attacked
of-
with 7. Yeah, back
Yeah.
for 7 power.
Yeah. So I was gonna flashback the Lingering Souls, get 2 more tokens, and yeah,
I don't put Lingering Souls in the same deck as Voice Resurgence, like making giant tokens everywhere.
that's pretty sweet. Yeah. So Sam has the option here of playing Fiery Justice to clean up the entire board and start swinging for $1 billion, which seems pretty.
That's where I'd want to be, I think. You could also wait to be able to kill a potential Bedlam Reveler later.
It's true. I mean, he can just swing for $1 billion anyway.
Yeah. So Sauce is a pretty good hand, though. He had Bedlam Reveler and
And what did you see?
I saw and Bloodbraid Elf. So he has ways to claw back into this game for sure. I
Okay, that's pretty good. Either way, the explosives was popped.
Yeah, there's some triggers from some voices. Hope he doesn't miss those.
Yeah. It looks like he put a die on the. Okay, there we go. So yeah, he's got 3 voice resurgence tokens.
Looks like he chunked the
The big one.
yeah. Interestingly, not attacking with Rallier. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Blinking Rallier, bringing back a voice
Yeah,
resurgence.
no, this is great. This is great.
Go.
The it's just kind of neat how blinking the Rallier turns on Revolt for when Rallier comes back into play.
Already had Revolt because a bunch of things left the battlefield.
I mean, yes, but yes. Okay. Either way, it looks like the. Yeah, we're just. It goes back to Sauce, and he's gonna either have to wipe the board or something. I don't see how he's beating these guys. This amount of power and toughness just in a.
Angler
solid
Gods, though,
race.
isn't even that great here. Normally, Angler Gods does a pretty good job of cleaning up those tokens, no matter how big they are, because it marks the damage on them and kills all the other creatures, then
Yeah.
they shrink. But he has a 1/4 and 3 tokens, which
Yep.
means even if all the other creatures die, the
tokens
tokens
will
are
still
still
be
4/4s,
4/4s.
so they're not going to die to an Angler of the Gods.
Yeah.
So it's not looking like he has too many outs here.
He could. I mean, if he has like Anger of the Gods and Lightning Bolt, but
Sure.
okay. Bloodbraid Elf sees Call against command.
Not the worst, but
Uh,
it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough.
2 damage to the Renegade Rallier, probably.
Yeah,
You
two damage to
discard
the Rallier, make you discard unless he has a creature he really wants to bring back.
Pyromancer. I don't think he wants
Yeah.
the Pyromancer back.
Yep.
All right. Well, here we are. We have a 1/4 and 3 4/4s. Sauce has nothing close to that on board.
There are 5/5s. 3 tokens, a voice, and a.
3 tokens. Yeah.
Yeah. Now there's 6/6s when he plays this Wall of Omens.
Wall of Omens is sweet here.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, it is. Oh, Fiery
So
Justice.
Fiery Justice.
Clean up your
1,
board.
2.
You get a 14.
Wow.
Okay. And then attack for 12, 14, 15?
Enough. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah. Fiery
that was-
Justice is when it's good, it's good. And when it's bad, it's your
Yeah.
opponent gains 5 life. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like the thing you want to bring in here because the board's going to get clogged up, and then Sam's able to fill out his board, kill his opponent's threats, and actually swing for lethal. And we're back to the sideboard for going into game 3. Again, it looks like Sam, on top of everything you can see, also has a Gideon Trials,
In the sideboard.
which I don't think comes in.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. Gideon Jura, though. I
It's
like
interesting,
Gideon
yeah.
Jura.
It helps you grind your opponent out. It makes him attack with his Pyromancer.
Yeah. Forces Pyromancer to attack, forces all the tokens to attack into your pile of tutus.
Yeah, that seems not
Yeah.
bad at all. I kind of like that in this matchup. And it kills tap Bedlam Revelers and stuff like that.
I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah, no, that seems like an
Seems
excellent card to
legit.
bring in.
Yeah, okay. But it does cost 5, and if your mana base looks like 3 lands, a Birds of Paradise, and a Noble Hierarch, those are susceptible to getting burned, and then you don't have the mana.
Sure. I'd still like bringing it in, though. Like you said, these games go long.
Sure.
You end up with lands in play anyway.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Sam just replaced Elspeth Sun's Champion in his board with the Gideon of the Trials.
Yeah.
To beat creature combo mirrors, which
Yeah.
is... Yeah. No. He replaced...
He doesn't have the trials.
Yeah. He took out... What he did was he took out Elspeth Sun's Champion and put in Gideon Jura. He does have trials.
To be creature combo mirrors?
Yeah, because then if they like Vizier of or no, that doesn't work. If they do a similar cat combo thing, they
Yeah.
have to swing Gideon Jura.
Sure. That doesn't seem like the best, though.
That and also Kiki Cord.
Yeah, okay.
Any number of like Naya creature
Yeah.
combo deck
And it does beat...
beats elves pretty well.
It beats some versions of the... Like, some of the Vizier Devoted Druid combo decks go off
Yeah.
with Ronus as a backup to the Walking Ballista when they can't go straight to the face, so that could...
Yeah, really. Rex Infect. Infect is definitely still a deck.
Yeah.
It's seeing a lot of play in like very super leagues and stuff like that. I saw yesterday, I think it was. I'm gonna bring back Infect. I used to play Infect, and that deck's sweet. I played Legacy, and it's just so much worse than Modern.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah, it looks like Huntmaster of the Fells, Gideon Jura, Scavenging Ooze, Fiery Justice is what Sam's getting here. Do you think he brings in his 1 Rex Age against the Engineer Explosives they saw?
I would imagine so. Like, that card
can often just already be cracked by the time you have a chance to Rex stage it,
Yeah.
and then it's not super impressive.
But you can always Eldritch Evolution it out off of a 1-drop.
Sure,
If
but
they
like,
if they didn't plan on cracking it this turn.
honestly, I think one of the biggest mistakes people make when they're sideboarding into Modern is over sideboarding or sideboarding for too specific of a thing.
Yeah.
I play Bant Company in Modern, and boy, do too many people board in Graveyard Hate against my Knight of the Reliquaries to shrink them. Because, like, the end of the day,
Graveyard Hate?
yeah,
That's a bit much.
yeah, exactly. All kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's kind of the adage that Surgical Extraction is the most overboarded card in Modern because people just too often bring it in to deal with specific things. They think they need to bring in Enchantment Destruction for random stuff. For example, in some of the matches we saw earlier with where games were won by Perforos, even if I had a 2-mana Theranos,
Wow.
even if I had a card that that said 1 mana exile target enchantment, I still don't think I'd bring it in those matchups.
Yeah.
It just, I don't like boarding in one in constructed. Boarding in one card, deal with your opponent's one card. Just seems like a losing battle to me.
That's fair.
Because they can get you twice, right?
Yeah.
It's just as likely that they draw it and you don't draw yours, or that you draw yours and they don't draw theirs.
Yeah.
You have to both draw the card. And
Well, that's what's nice about these creature toolbox decks. He's playing 4 Eldritch Evolutions, I'd imagine, which means he doesn't have 1 copy of Rex Sage. He has 5 copies of Rex Sage.
Sure, but I still don't want it against
Oh yeah, no, I agree
Yes.
with you, but yeah, that's one of
very
the
true.
upsides of sideboarding in this kind of a deck.
Yeah.
It looks like
Both players took a mulligan, both going to 6. I have to think that.
ooh, I like this cat combo hand. 2 Noble Hierarchs, 2 Felidar Guardians, and something
And a Renegade Rallier?
a land at the back, and a Renegade Rallier, yeah,
It's alright.
and a fetch. Yeah, I mean, it's better than a 5.
That's very true. And it's if he hits a land drop on 2, he's going to be renegading back some fetches. It just doesn't put a ton of pressure on the opponent, but I guess it just needs to draw securely to win, so
Yeah.
I don't really need to. I'm not going to complain.
Technically functional as a hand that can play Magic. Which
Saz is
better
going
than-
to 5.
Wow, nice.
Not
Okay.
great in this matchup.
Yeah, it's not what he's looking for. It's really not what he's looking to do. Still, it's better. I think Saz's deck is better on 5 than Sam's deck is.
Yeah, because he plays like Hazoret.
Yeah, and not only just that, but a Thoughtseize can just brick Sam's hand.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it doesn't break this hand, but
Not this one, no.
Yeah.
But if Sam's banking on 2 combo pieces and a bunch of Birds of Paradise, then yeah.
yeah.
So it looks like
Saz is saying he wants his faithless his 7 back, which was Pyromancer, Faithless Looting, and 5 lands. Which
that's not great.
I don't know. You play Faithless on turn 1, discard 2 of those lands. You only have 3.
Yeah.
Land, Pyro,
It's-
land. You have 2 mystery cards off the Faithless Looting, 2 cards you've drawn, and you just get to cast Faithless Looting again.
Yeah.
Faithless Looting does a phenomenal job of turning like bad hands into fine ones.
That's basically what you're doing on turn 1, 2, and 3 anyway. for
Yeah,
the most
exactly.
part. Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, so Saz is on the play, and he's gonna scry to the top, and then immediately shuffle it away with his Wooded Foothills.
And this
seems
is
like
going to
some
start out
value.
exactly how he wants to, with an Inquisition, with notably another Inquisition and a Fatal Push in his hand. So kind of the perfect 5-card hand, just a ton of 1-minute disruption.
Yep.
Because it's combo deck.
Wow, this is great. Yeah, so Sam's gonna be able to play a turn 1 Noble Hierarch,
Yeah.
but that won't matter because Saz will be able to just push it, and then
Yeah.
Sam's at that point. Sam doesn't have much left.
He's kind of shit out of luck there.
That's not great.
Yeah, no, it's not the best, especially because he's just not going to be able to play lands.
Yeah.
If he's fetching a Stomping Ground here, I have to imagine he drew a white source, but maybe
Yes.
not. I'm not sure.
He drew something with blue in the artwork. That's all I saw.
Blue in the artwork. That is not helpful.
That's all I saw. So we'll see in a sec. It's a foil. Is that a Renegade Rallier? I think it's a Renegade Rallier.
Yeah, that seems right.
I think I saw the.
Plains. No, it's a foil.
See, told you it's blue.
Sure. So Inquisition takes another.
Renegade Rallier.
Yeah, and maybe he doesn't have to push, or maybe he doesn't
Doesn't
care at this
need
point.
to push.
Yeah, that's fair. He knows his opponent hit the land drop. Yeah, he knows his opponent hit the land drop. Wants to wait to get the value of Pyromancer push. Now he gets to search, which is Path to Exile is pretty good. not the worst for Saws here because it makes it almost like he hasn't mulliganed quite as far. It gets him a free land in play.
Yeah.
Not great, but better than nothing.
Definitely better than nothing.
And Saws' innovation of just playing a singleton or a 4 of the green splash for the Bloodbraid Elves is looking pretty good here if he can untap and cast a Bloodbraid.
It really
That's
is.
exactly what he needs to get back from a spot like this.
Yeah. So yeah, Sam's thinking partially out loud that if he shocks here, he can take 2 damage to play a 1/4.
That does nothing else. I would have gotten in with that Noble Hierarch. The card has Exalted, hits for 1 damage.
Yeah.
Would have gotten in for my point where I could take it, but looks like the Hierarch's gonna get pushed. He's kind of going to be in not a great position. But the top deck Scavenging Ooze is big here.
It's fine. There's only 1 green source that Sam has,
Yeah.
which is it's still good.
Yeah.
You're still playing it. You're still activating it.
It'd be much nicer if you saw that Noble.
Yeah.
And that's brutal. It's going to hit with the 2 damage mode. If there had been a single green source, another green source on that side of the table, it would have been much better.
K-Command does both. Wow. This is just exactly what Saws needs.
This is going from Mold of 5 to, like we said, he had that perfect removal spell for that Scavenging Ooze, the Kolaghan's Command, which generated card advantage by making discard that Felidar Guardian, and he plays a 3/2, passes.
Oh my gosh, he draws a Bedlam Reveler?
Oh, Saws is
that
just
a
ripping
Bedlam?
it. Oh, what a heartbreak.
Wow.
Because he notably cast that Faithless Looting off
Yeah.
of the Blood Rail, because it's all upside. Mill yourself 2, and have a thing in the grave. Oh, that's so
Did he
nasty.
not delve? Did he delve? Actually,
Oh,
or no, it doesn't have delve. What am I saying? It costs 1 less. That's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. That card would be a lot worse with delve. Still just as good.
I don't know. Might be better.
Probably. Yeah, because then you can play in other decks. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Anyway.
Yeah. Either way. So this Reflector Mage, he doesn't have blue mana, does he?
No, he does not.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. This is a heartbreak. Wow. Saws ripped exactly perfectly what he
Sam
wanted.
draws his blue card. You've got to be kidding me. Saws, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, that's
Just
gold
cat
from
combo
our, gold from our
things.
players.
Wow. So it looks like Thoughtseize is able to take that Reflector Mage. Womp womp. And it looks like the 1/4 is going to block 3/2 all day long, as Sam's deck name gets changed to #JustCatThings.
Uh-huh.
And the puns will
Excellent
keep
touch.
on coming.
So we gotta draw step Kolaghan's Command just to make it so your opponent's drawing dead, and then he's really just closing the door at this point. He has 3 cards in hand to his opponent's 0.
And still has a
3/2.
Faithless Looting in the yard.
Yep, and a 3/2 and a 3/4 to his opponent's 1/4.
Yep.
Oh,
There's Faithless Looting, draw 2,
this
discard
game was
2.
looking good for just cat things over here, but it doesn't do too great.
Faithless Looting does turn on prowess there, so you've got a 4/5 Bedlam Reveler. Saws might be able to play a land and then flashback a Lingering Souls for more prowess.
I mean,
Looks like
Fetch, push here.
it's lethal. Does he have a push?
No, he flashbacks looting.
Yeah.
Has a 5-power dude and a 3-power dude. Is going to attack. I would imagine that
You got block
block
3/2. Yeah. So I don't think Sam has an out anymore.
Yeah.
Because it was draw
he
blue
does have an
source.
out. His out is Oath of Nissa into Sekili.
Oath of Nissa does it. Yeah.
But
Okay, cool.
Besides
Well,
that, yep. And that looks like it's going to be the game. That's end match. This was the final round of Thursday Night Modern here at Paradise Games.
Yeah.
I'm Noble.
I'm Adam, and thanks so much for coming. We've got a couple events coming up that you might be interested in. Tomorrow, on Friday, we're going to be opening up early at 10 a.m. for some Masters 25 drafts, and we're going to be running those all day long. Whenever we get 8 people, we'll fire off a new draft. We'll also have a standard F&M stream tomorrow at the usual time, 6:30. So definitely tune in for that, and you should definitely like and follow us on social media, and you'll be able to subscribe to our Twitch channel tomorrow.
Yep.
And then in the future. So yeah, things are going well, and we've got a lot more Magic content to bring to you in the next couple days.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks so much.
We'll see you at the start.
Have a nice evening. Bye.
All right.
Oh yeah, I think it sounds good. But it's the only
Any chance you guys want to cast standard?
I'll see what Alex wants. I don't know anything about standard. I kind of want to play standard, honestly.
That's a good way to learn about it.
Yeah, exactly. I bought a deck and still haven't used it, so yeah. I'll let you know if I can get it.
Yeah, and I'll talk to my other sources as well. Try and make sure you're not on the hook.
Sounds good.
Thank you. I'll hurry up.
Someone online.